Hey there, folks. We are coming up live for the craziness that is about to ensue. I have no idea. What it's going to be all about today. Truly, no idea how good or bad this is going to be for the party. We shall see. Boy, that music seems a little low now. It's one of those pieces that builds a lot. Hope everyone out there is doing all right and a-okay. We are getting ourselves pulled together here. Looks like we are actually broadcasting, which is a good thing because sometimes it kind of hiccups on me. So there's that thing. Hope, get my golly, I don't even have my mic in the right spot. What's going on here? Pro streamer right here, guys. I'm trying to have my tea and drink it too. That's my problem. So as I'm double fisting here, switch out the coffee for some tea. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, no. So we shall see. I have my work cut out for me today, folks. I don't know what's gonna happen. I am just as excited as you guys are to see how this all goes down, because I don't know. I do not know. And yeah, we shall see. We shall see how this is all going to work out, if it works out, or what's going to work out, or who knows. Might hear some noise in the background. I have some landscaping work happening outside. Getting some new landscaping finally. I'm very happy. And pleased to have that going on. But, yeah. When the party goes off the rails. It is what it is. This is when you, as a DM, you've just got to see what the party comes up with. Because, yeah, this was not... It's kind of interesting. Split the party, you know, half of y'all get captured. 4,000 foot cliff between them. It's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. That is for sure. It's going to be something. Welcome everybody. Hope you all are having a good Saturday afternoon. I know it is summertime and people are off and doing things, and there's some World Cup excitement going on out there as well. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and saying hello and taking some time out of your day to watch our story as the shenanigans unfold. We are doing a split session today because half the party's in one place and the other half's in another place, and they have no idea what one or the other is doing. And so, hey, there's a Templar Warden. Hey there, buddy. Juicy, how you doing? Welcome to our little stream. We're getting started here a little less than 10 minutes. Just getting the stream up and warmed up, getting the voice working, and all of those things. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, so anyway, we're doing a split session today. The party is split. Half of them are captured, so the captured part of the party was in a combat at the end of last episode that got them captured, and the rest of the party, luckily, one of our bard used a scroll to get out an SOS to let them know that they had been it was a setup and a trap that they had walked into, and we're gonna tune in with the rest of our party who are waiting to for a lift to arrive to maybe take them up, but the person they're supposed to ride with is who they're under the impression of, at least, is the people who attacked the other half of their party. So I don't know. We'll have to see what they decide to do about all this. Like I said, I'm just as excited to see as everybody else. So, yeah. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. But, yeah. It was interesting. Of all things, we started this lift shenanigans 2 episodes ago, and then lo and behold, Critical Role had the party not being able to talk their way onto a lift in their game as well. Crazy. Thank you guys for all those retweets out there. I do appreciate them. If you all want to hit that button, I do appreciate it. To get the word out that we're going live. Oh man, oh man. a little drowsy today. I didn't get my coffee till late because I went on a big D&D fitness walk this morning. And for those folks who have been following me and playing along with the old D&D fitness, that was a good time. I know we got lots of people watching the Origins convention as well. It's looking pretty darn cool. So yeah, that's a convention that to me just came out of nowhere. I mean, I think I'd heard about it, but it was just sort of like, oh, that's just some little local gaming convention. And now, man, oh man, it is like serious business. How's everyone else's day going? I'm afraid my party's going to have a bad day of this. I don't know. We'll see. Unfortunately, we don't have Bird versus Plane with us again today. He is with his family. They are going through a little bit of a tough time, so send your thoughts and energy his way. I'm sure he would appreciate it. Keep him just in your thoughts as he's going through a bit of a tough time with his family. Well, his whole family's going through a tough time. He is with them as support. That didn't come out quite right. Abby Marie, hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good day, hanging out with us. I know there's lots of different things happening out there in the world of streaming today. Other games, other things going on. So thanks for stopping in and joining us. We do appreciate it. I was gonna say there's all kinds of big stuff going on now out there in D&D streaming land. Yeah, Saturday's become a big D&D stream day. Which is cool. More the better, in my opinion. That is for darn sure. We can use all the support we can get. And cool, we've got our cast gathering in the background, so that's very cool. Getting ready for whatever is to come. We shall see. We shall see. You accusing me? There you go. I've got to get my little bit of a Cockney accent on for the guys whose accent I always lose. Good old Mick. Mick Difton. Good old Mick Difton. Local lieutenant of the Mass Dragon Syndicate, who the party has run afoul with. And I need to get... Actually, I should go ahead and get all these guys up and ready to go. Good old Kelvin, the head of our orcs. Lieutenant Jonah, who no one wants to talk to. And Liftmaster Felden. I'm going to get the old Twitterino closed down, because don't need that. And Luckily, all these guys are NPCs, so I can make them shrunk down. At some point, I'll have to, like, during a DM's desk, show everyone my sort of streaming setup. I am a huge fan of having 3 monitors, thank goodness. One of mine's my really old monitor, but I like it. It's just like a nice little square monitor, but it's great for just like dropping sheets on and that sort of stuff, whereas the other monitors have more bigger things. The sort of larger stuff is on those. Got my notes over here, got my quick reference right there. Yep. And there we go. So that's getting ready. We'll be going live here in about 2 minutes. Let my group know. Go live in about a minute, guys. And yeah, so oh golly, I gotta get my headset rolling, or else it's not gonna, nothing's gonna work if my Zoom doesn't swap over to my headset. There it goes. So that will be that. Anyway. Oh, come on, desktop audio. Why are you doing this? That should be my speakers. Oh, that's why. Because this now is going through there instead of through my speakers. I hate when it does that. There we go. Yeah, one of our streaming tools doesn't let you select your audio. It has to be whatever your default audio is. Don't like it. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump on over to the gang, and we're going to get this party on the road. I'll be right there. Swapping over now, guys. See you on the other side.
We'll go with half a minute. Round it up.
I was talking about all the other creatures that are not going.
And we are live with all kinds of messed up screens because this is a new, with this few players, we have never had to set up like this before. So we'll be getting those in order, but let's go ahead and start with Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I will be playing Hidden by Axel, the energetic, curious taxi wizard, and yeah, he's concerned. I think we all are concerned.
It's definitely going to get interesting. That is for sure. Next up, we have Good Guy Pie.
I am Good Guy Pie, and things are going to go fine. We all know this. I will be playing, look, Goldheart, adventure extraordinaire, and nothing bad happened last week, and nothing bad's going to happen this week. We're all fine. We didn't split the party.
Yeah, that whole splitting the party thing. You know, it's just, it's like ROUSs. I just don't think that that's a real problem in the Fire Swamp. For all the old folks in the room who remember Princess Bride.
Please don't put that like that. That sounds so depressing.
Dude, I saw it live in the movie theater in high school.
I watched Princess Bride.
I'm sure you did. Probably on free per view, like on network TV, because it was that long after release. But anyway, let's move over to Tunarth.
Hello, I am Tunarth. I'm playing Cal the Wood Elf Druid, who, as if he didn't have enough to deal with already, now has apparently half of his friends attacked and captured. Yeah.
Things.
So, things and stuff and things.
Yes, indeed.
Although, does he? I mean,
right now,
when we ended it, I don't think Kel knows yet.
Yeah, right now we're...
Axel went to find whoever he could.
Yeah, we are going to
Nice.
sort of pick up with... I'll give the nice little recap, and we'll probably pick up pretty much with Axel receiving the message. So, anyway, I am Tall Squall. I am your DM and host for the Vice. We are doing a split session today, as the party is split and separated by 4,000 feet of cliff face. So that is what we are going to do. We do run this channel 100% for charity. This month we are raising money for the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. It is a great organization, one of the top-rated charities in the country. If you'd like to donate to them through our site, you can just click on their banner in the doobly-doo down below. It'll take you to our donation site, and you can affect game outcomes by doing so. If you would like to just go to their site and find out more information, you can click on their name in the description. It'll take you right to their site, either for donation or volunteer opportunities, or just to educate yourself a little bit more about Parkinson's and what they are doing to try to find a cure and help those who are living every day with Parkinson's. So anyway, hello to any new viewers out there. Glad you all stopped by. It's going to be an interesting day. At 3:30, we're going to be swapping out the cast with the other side of the cast. We don't have Bird versus Plane with us today. He is up dealing with some bad news with his family, and all of our thoughts, and hope you send your thoughts and energy out to him as well, as he is going through a tough time. He and his family are going through a little bit of a tough time right now. So anyway, thank you for joining us to get us caught up with what is going on in the world. Basically, the party is on their way to Falcon's Crest, which is the human capital city here in the eastern side of the continent. The interesting about Falcon's Crest is it is located on top of a giant plateau with huge, soaring sheer cliff faces all the way around it. Part of it was because for it to be a defensible position, very much so, built as a city to resist siege or anything else. But basically, there's limited ways to access the city. One is a 10-day road that basically wraps all the way around the backside, the southern half of the plateau, and brings you up sort of the one accessible side of this plateau. The other sides are basically cliffs or the Midnight Weald, which is a forest full of its own set of dangers, and cliff sort of step-like plateaus on that side deep into the forest. So one of the things that has happened through the years is in multiple locations around the plateau, Falcon's Crest has built lifts to actually lift people up the side of the plateau. The northernmost lift, which our party is at currently, is a little shady in reputation. It is the closest lift to Smuggler's Gambit, which is a pathway known to be used to bring goods down from the northern part of the continent. It is the path, in fact, that our party took to get here. And upon arriving, they realized, you got to have influence to get on the lift and not be bounced around. They bumped into several other people in the equivalent of a fantasy airport bar, a tavern known as the Lift and Pulley. Bumped into a few other people who were also waiting to get on the lift. Hey, Tunarth donated $89.96. A luck die for each player and a boon for Axel, plus a little extra to even things up. Thank you very much. A boon for Axel. Whew, okay. We will have to talk about a boon offline and afterwards. So go ahead and add a luck dice. And I'll do the math and figure out what amount that means goes into the spell bank.
And that'll be for the other half of the cast too when they show up.
Yes. So they'll get a luck die when they show up as well. Great. Very cool. Met with a few people. They met with Wallace Linford of the Linford Distilleries, who is trying to get whiskey up the lift and has a spot in front of them. Met up with some orcs. Who they found out through seem to be fairly nice. They basically are line sitters. What they do is they just kind of hop in the line and either sell off their seats or buy cargo if they can't sell off their seats and head up the lift that way. They currently have a cargo of produce and such. They also didn't get a chance to chat with him, saw that the Talon Guard, which is the main guard force around Falcon's Crest, was in the middle of a shift change, sort of a change of the guards, where the guards from up on the plateau were coming down below. And then latecomers to the party was a group of mercenary, well-armed folks who they, I think, at this point have correctly assumed are with a group that they know a little bit about called the Masked Dragon, who are loosely tied to the different chromatic Dragonflight Syndicate bandits who they dealt with earlier in the campaign over on the western side of the continent. They decided to make a deal with the leader of this group of mercenaries as they got to jump straight to the front of the line. And after they sent 2 wagon loads of their folks up, they offered 4 spots to the rest of the party who rode up with them. Once they got to the top, they were ambushed by this group and taken captive. Luckily, Iska, having been given a scroll of sending from our resident wizard Axel, got off sort of an SOS at the last moments and said that it was a trap and that they had been captured. And so we're going to pick up with the party right now with the actual, knowing what we do about the time it takes to do a round trip. It is the party left about 8:30, about 2 hours later. 10:30 arrived. I would say this message probably came in not even 15 minutes after, so it's about 10:30 in the morning. You guys were just sort of hanging around till wait to pick up your lift. You are scheduled to go with the rest of the Masked Dragon and the leader himself on the 1 o'clock lift. And Axel, you get a frantic message from Iska going, "It's a trap! It's a trap! They've attacked us! We're captured!" Through the scroll of sending. And that's where we'll pick up.
Yeah. So I believe as last time, he would, of course, respond immediately. Just stay safe. We're coming for you. Just stay safe. Stay alive. And then because he was sitting on top of the roof of their little housing area, which is a good spot for vantage point like cats do, and he's going to pack out his books real quickly and rush down and to find if Cal is wandering around outside. Probably might be most obvious, or going to find luck. Otherwise, we're to them.
Okay. As you've been studying all morning, go ahead and do me an Arcana check. Ooh, on a 25. What were your portents for today? Do you have them written down?
Yes, I do. I did a roll for today. Did I? I can't remember if I rolled for today.
I don't know whether you did or not. It would have been way back before combat, so you can't.
Yeah, no, I rolled before we even had gone on the lift. So yeah, portents for today, 15 and 12. 15 and a 12.
Okay. Yeah. You feel like you are on the edge of a breakthrough for this master time rune. Truly just within moments or hours away from breaking through on this one. You're welcome to use a luck dice if you want to try a re-roll it to see if you can have this come together for you. Your call.
He's
Okay.
on the edge of discovering. I've got it. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
The fateful
So,
decision. Yeah.
uh,
So he's looking for Luck or Kel, whoever's sort of in the most immediate to reach.
yeah, Luck, how were you spending your morning waiting for your lift ride at 1 o'clock?
If the half orcs are still about, we'll probably be playing dice with them.
Okay. Yeah, you can be in the lift and pulley sitting at the table with the orcs and rolling dice. Do me a perception check. On a 22, as you're rolling dice, you have noticed Wallace Linfort has come back in, the gentleman with the from the distillery, had some breakfast, and you've seen 3 different people come in and sit down with him. Very friendly, presumably his drivers. They seem to be fairly lightly armored. You will notice on a 22, because you've seen your party members, Iskrin specifically, do it. They sort of liberally are using prestidigitation and things like that for cleaning their robes and possibly flavoring up their food a little bit more nicely than the regular fare here. But you do see what you presume to be the other drivers of his wagons. Perhaps you've seen them from a little bit distance off, guarding the wagons of the whiskey from outside. And Luck disappears and returns. Woohoo! No, you froze up right before it happened. So yeah, no, you notice that. Wallace does seem to be having very intense conversations with them as they come in and go out. He does seem quite concerned.
Luck is sort of just stops midway through rolling the dice, sort of looks over. Odd. Mind me, boys. I've got to ask a few questions.
Okay. Kavan just sort of waves and sort of deals you out, or I guess dices you out, whatever, for the next round, yeah. So you get up from the table and can do as you wish.
He walks over to sort of Wallace and probably jumps in once he's finished talking with whichever driver he is right now. So just sort of walks sort of casually, sort of just taking a seat next to him.
Yeah. So let's see. Just do me a flat charisma check for his first impressions.
I see.
Yeah. So you come over and with Luck Goldheart, aplomb, and an honest face, and he sort of looks up to you and just like, "Can I help you?"
There seems to be you seem to be a bit troubled by something. Is there some sort of commotion going on on your end?
Well, I don't know about you, but it's making me mighty nervous seeing just more and more of the guards being down here, and I have yet to see a single one of them go up. And between you and me, those fellows who came into town, rolled into town last night, they're up to no good. And I'm carrying too much valuable merchandise to not at least be a little squirrely. I mean, I hired on some good help here, but it doesn't take a genius to count up. There's about 24 of them and 4 of us.
What do you think they're up to? If so, you don't just send guard down.
Well, they're saying it's some kind of mix-up. I just say it's awful convenient to have that big of a mix-up when I'm sitting here on two 2 wagonfuls of four wagonfuls of Linfort's finest cognac. About to head up that lift right there.
You think it's being paid off?
I don't know what it is, but I sure as heck am thinking I need to be careful. I'll say right about that time, Axel, you come bursting in to the tavern.
Barging into the door. Luck, and he sort of, luck, he runs over, grabs, like, basically bodily pulls me on the door. As soon as he's outside, I've got escape. Oh, and he's gone. Role-playing the escape.
Yes. Yeah, he's froze.
Yeah.
Oh, it's alright.
Yeah, so he sort of basically pulls you just outside of the room. They've got escape. They've got the others. They captured them up top. She just got a message to me.
They were up to something. Should have been more careful.
Well,
Roll me a perception check, both of you guys.
Yeah, it's like he's quiet just next to the door. I mean, if somebody's sitting right behind it, they can hear him. Yeah.
I'm gonna motivate that one.
Oh.
Yeah, on a 20 and a 25, and Wallace is not too healthy stealth of 10. You realize that he pretty much immediately got up from the table and sort of wandered your way so he could be into earshot. He's just, I knew it.
No good.
I don't know.
Keep this on the down low, would you?
Yeah. Where's Cal? Do you know where Cal is?
He should be in the forest.
Right. So, okay, I'll contact him in a moment. What are we gonna do?
You see, Wallace sort of walks by you and goes, I've got arrangements to make, and heads over to where his wagons are. Kind of pushes by you past the door, and heads over to his wagons. Kel, where are you? You had spent the night out in the shadow of the cliffs. I'm assuming by this late in the morning you are you staying out there? Or are you back in town?
Well, I would have come back in town to see everybody off on the first lift.
Yep.
And then once they were off, I would have headed, along the cliff back towards where I had been. Not very far away, but enough outside that I felt at least I'm outside the town.
Right. Yep. We know Luck found you there last night, so while he stepped away, Luck can sort of lead you, Axel, to the cliff face where Kel has sort of made his little sort of, I won't call it nest, but like barrow, Druid barrow over there. Temporary camp outside next to the rocks. So, so he can lead you very easily, Axel, and Luck. Luck leads you over to Kel's sort of camp out at the base of the cliffs. Sort of to the about 300 or 400 yards down and around, sort of around some rocks and corners from the actual lift itself.
Alright, so we get there and we find Kel, and as soon as basically Axel gets him, Kel, they captured Iska and the others up the top of the cliff. The people who went with them, Iska got me a message, and she told me that it was a trap. I think they've captured them. I don't know what happened. We need to do something.
Well, what about the guard? We should tell the guard, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
No. They're up to something.
The guards are up to something?
Everyone's speaking about it. There are too many guards down here, is what everyone's saying. It's too wonderful.
If they could capture, Iska and the others up top, and the guards didn't help them then. So, yeah.
Well, how many of them are left down here?
I don't know. There's a lot
thousands
of
of
down here.
Are they
Can't
still
remember
with
if
the remainder?
Yeah, Axel, do a you can do a history check for the count if you want.
I can't remember because I can't remember. Well, I can't remember what I was with Wallace when he mentioned the numbers, or if that was somebody else.
Well, even just from seeing them roll in,
Yeah.
and from what you know about the lift's capacity and that type of stuff, give me an intelligence check. This would be something Axel mathematically could
No.
figure out.
I think it's something like 36 anyway. So, yeah.
So you basically you know that they had what is left down here is basically 10 of them, because you had 4 displaced by your party, and then you had 6 that were going to go up on this last lift. So currently there are 10 of them down here, including the leader.
And the Talon's got about 30, I suppose.
Talon Guard, we are at...
Not counting the last lift coming down.
Right, not counting the last lift coming down. So you actually are at 12 per lift, 3, 4, 48. You actually have 48 who are down, Talon Guard who are down here now because none have gone up.
So yeah, it's a
huge mass of them. In fact, sort of overflowing the city, some of which they've sent out on patrol just to get them, knowing that they've got days to wait.
Yeah, so the whole place is full Talon Scout, and there's... Yeah. And we've got 10 of the... Probably the Mass Syndicate. There might just be mercenaries working for the Mass Syndicate, but... If they have any connections, they might, if we gave them away the dragon armor, they might actually know or have an idea of what we've done. So they might, I don't know. I don't know why they would go after Iska and Luna and the others unless they don't really have any obvious... I would give them magic items so they know what we have.
After the Janazzi, we know this. If they are connected.
That might be. Oh, I didn't think of that one. Doesn't.
We may accept it, but others still see them as tools.
But
We accept them. You know what I mean.
But we need to know who we're dealing with and what they want, and then we can prepare accordingly, and see if we can. See if, maybe they would have bought up the Talon Guard, or maybe they were being opportunistic, or...
So you're saying there's no one left, that it's just us 3 against, 40, 50, 60, all those other people. What are we supposed to do?
No.
Fan. I mean, Iska got the message to me, and I need to check if message sending is mental, or you actually say the words.
I believe it's mental, and it's. I know it's 25 words.
Yeah.
Or 24 words, something along those lines. And you're allowed to reply, but then it's done.
Yeah. So it's quite possible that they don't know that we know, but it's also possible they do figure that out from up top if Iska said those words, because when she sent them to me, it might be they have a means of communication. Information is the thing we need to know.
Snoop about.
We could. It's going to pull out the Mirror of Secrets.
Okay.
And scry upon Iska.
Okay, so pulling out the Mirror of Secrets, you use. That's right. Yeah, you used it last night, so
Yeah,
it's
it was last night.
recharged for today. You basically cast the scrying spell, and your mind sort of lifts out of your body and flies up the side of the cliff face until it hovers over top of this area where the lift sort of docks. And you see an old inn that is crumbling to one side of it. You see many storage shelters that are spread around the area, similar to the ones down here, except they seem to be more freestanding. And from there, your vision slides to the north a little bit. And you see 3 wagons and a large group of these mercenaries you'd seen before, and you focus in and see in the back of one of these wagons Iska bound Luna in manacles. I'm sorry, Luna bound in ropes as well, Cilia in manacles, and what you can only assume to be Iskrin, who is pretty much wrapped head to foot in a strange net. They are basically all thrown on top of each other, so you're able to, even though you're just spying on Iska, you can get a bigger view of all 4 of them. They do not seem to be conscious at this time, but you know from scrying that if they were, most likely if they were dead, you would not get a read. So you assume unconscious, but not dead. Also, you probably don't normally don't bind dead bodies.
Yeah, unless you're not sure I did.
True.
Is there any sort of discussion happening around them? Are there people around them, or is it just the 4 of them being left there?
They're in the back of this wagon. It is moving. It is moving somewhat northward, sort of along. You probably can't see out far enough to see that, but you can just tell by the light that it seems to be moving somewhat northward.
No, so that wouldn't be in the direction of Falcon's Crest, would it?
Nope.
But they're all alive at this point. They're in out the car, captured, going north. They look like they've taken precautions for Cilia and Iskrin. He's completely wrapped up. So he can't see where he's going, so he can't teleport. I think that's generally the concept. And Cilia's in manacles as opposed to ropes, so she can't untie herself. They know enough about us, at least from, looking at us. But they don't know enough about us, so they know probably what we can do. But they're going north, so not towards Falcon's Crest, which means they have a base up there.
Luck, with hearing Axel say that, it reminds you of the letter that you found in the desk of the leader of the Black Dragon Flight.
Well, it's not letting me.
It's the one I'm asking about trading for Luna, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
And companions.
The trade. They're going to trade us on that.
Trade us?
The letter
Which letter?
on the syndicate. Something like that.
Oh, yeah. That, well, so yeah, so they have connections between the vice.
Somehow. Well, there's a lot of mysteries we don't know.
Yeah, but they clearly they want us there and here, and it's the temple. I guess I blew out half their building. They're not happy with that. And they're going north.
Go north. Maybe. Don't have a map. Wait, do we? Who has a map?
I mean, you've got your map. It doesn't have that kind of resolution, but certainly some of the locals might be able to tell you what might be that direction.
We should ask about. We need.
Looks of it.
We can slip past whatever ambush they may have, or even at this point go to another lift. Slip away before they notice. Go to another lift, and we head up.
If they're going north, going to the other lift takes even longer. If we really want to go as fast as possible, we go either on a mount or on foot, and we go north through the Vice and around the tip of the plateau. That's not a good trip, but it's...
Now,
Yeah.
but that'll be days. It'll be days worth of travel. If they're up top now, going north, the next lift is south from here.
Yeah, whatever option we have is limited. We can take the long route, but we don't know what's going to happen in the meantime. I suppose I can keep scrying on them every day. I can keep looking in every day, but it's still going to be some time. Or we take the next lift up, or we even delay, and go with another lift. But of course, that will raise suspicions.
We know they will probably attack us.
Yes.
Prepare for that. We can prepare for that.
We can, because we're displacing, because they have the current lift, and we're displacing some of them off that lift, so I think they're going to have to go and take another lift behind it to get everybody up. So that, how many did I see getting on the lift? I think it was 7 or
So
6.
Six can go on a lift. Currently, you would be riding with a wagon and 3 members of the mercenaries on the lift itself, plus the lift operator and the operator's guard. And you don't know what's up with them.
Yeah, so, well, we go up with 3 others in a cart, and they have the area up top completely to themselves, presumably. And all the people who's gone up there, and anyone who works up there already, this place is clearly run by the Master Dragon.
We could go up there and bolt it as soon as we get the chance. We just run.
Can we? Do we have the means to just run and escape from them? If they have prepared to catch us, do you have the means to run entirely faster than all of them, completely, without any way of them stopping you? Well, you can run fast, can't you? You can do that with your potions.
I can.
Yeah, and Kel can shapeshift, so then it just leaves me. I can run really fast, but I have to stop. I need to take a breath.
I can shapeshift.
Oh.
Axel, I know this is very stupid to say, but we do have one way of going faster than you.
What?
You have that way. Your route.
The dragon stride.
Yes, we could try that. We could.
But let's be honest, it will probably reveal a big secret about you that we have time to know about.
They don't necessarily know it's a rune. They might just know that it's a spell that's unusual. I can actually dress it up. I can make it look like I'm casting some sort of spell that they don't know what it is called, and run. That is an option.
It's definitely a one to choose.
We also don't know how many. They would probably chase us. They might have horses. No, they wouldn't have horses up on the plateau. Probably.
Kel is going to step, while they're talking, Kel is going to step back 4 paces from them with a kind of uncertain look on his face, and he is going to use wild shape to become a panther.
Your form shifts into a panther, and you immediately feel the wrongness of it, and you are cast out to the side of the panther, and there laying on the ground is the corpse of your panther form, desiccated and rotten.
Yeah. It's not a good option.
Knowing you pretty much expected that.
Here.
Kel is going to use another wild shape.
Okay.
Cal. What?
Yeah, he's not saying this out loud. You don't know that he's about to do this. And he's going to become an elk.
The form of a strong, healthy elk, not giant, but standard-sized elk, appears before you.
Kel drops the wild shape.
Okay.
You still. That's something.
I now know. That's my confirmation. I know. So. We should wait our turn. Go up on the list. I'm going to rest now. So I can use my ability again. And while we're on the lift, we'll ambush them.
Sure, that's it's on the left. We're a long way
If we're
above
going
ground.
up the lift, that's what I'm going to do. I don't care what you do. But it's the best chance that we have to control the number of people we're attacking and at least take some of them down. You can make up your own mind whether you will join me or not.
We shall do it when we reach the near
That's
the
what
top.
I'm going to do.
If that is the case, we do it when we reach near the top.
Just so we have somewhere to go if everything goes bad.
No. I'm not waiting to the top because all of them are up there.
No, not till the top, near the top. A few minutes before.
If we last that long. Yeah. I'm gonna look at what I can do. It's a long fall. We're just a success towards them, so we need to be towards the middle, probably back to the cart, and push them off is probably the best way without making too much fuss. The problem is, that could work. And we would have the cart, we could hide inside it. Or if we're going to run, we just go.
Presuming that I'll be able to do it. I can become a horse and you guys can ride me.
And I can have the dragon strike ready.
I shall go prepare potions then, and then ask about the plan.
I'm going to see if there seems to be any unusual activity amongst, the master dragon, and they might be a bit more aware of what's going on.
Okay.
If they, I'll let you know, and I will go review my spells and do what I can. Don't be too suspicious. Yeah.
Fella's going to now do a short rest.
Okay.
When was the next lift that we were going to take?
It's at 1 o'clock. Is the 1 o'clock lift with the rest of the Mass Dragon?
Yeah.
So it's over 2 hours now.
Yeah,
Or
it's easy.
approximately 2 hours.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it would be 2.5 hours between you getting the message and the lift arriving.
All right.
Sorry, rolling some things.
Eh.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Yep. So as you come back in town, Axel, and start listening, you hear a bit of a grumble in sort of heated words happening between Wallace and Liftmaster Felden, loud enough that you can hear it all the way down at the ground. You can't make out the words other than some upset happening, and eventually you see Wallace come back down and starts heading back towards his carts. A bit in a huff, but also satisfied look on his face.
So Axel will sort of rush over and catch him. You look a bit loud. I could hear you from in town. Is everything okay?
It's okay now. They realized who they were dealing with. I ain't going nowhere until some guard get up there. That's all I'm doing. I wasn't going to sit there and wait until the very end again. So I've moved myself behind the guard. So those orcs are going up on the last lift today. They can deal with whatever's waiting up there, but I sure as hell am not going up. Then some of the
Excellent. Yeah, good idea. You just rearranged things, or did you actually threaten him?
Oh no. Well, it depends on what you define threaten. I reminded him just how much business the First Fields Alliance gives all of these lifts and whatever other organizations that he might be involved with. With sort of self-satisfied smirk.
Yeah, like Axel has a little thought. Yeah, that counts as threatening, but I get it. Yeah, you might have bad things. Yeah, bad things happen up top with our friends, so we're taking things into our own hands.
Those boys have got more tricks up their sleeve than you can possibly imagine. I wouldn't get anywhere near them folks. That's just some friendly advice, friend.
Unfortunately, that's not a choice. But if you're willing to offer more advice, I'll gladly take it.
Well, those orcs now have a nice spot sitting here at the end of the day, and I was gonna say, if anybody out here can be convinced with just some coin or other items, it's gonna be those boys. That's their stock in trade, and having a seat when someone needs it pretty bad.
Yeah, it's an option. All right, thank you very much. I hope your trip goes well. And you'll...
No, certainly going to go better now. And he sort of tips his hat to you as he walks off.
Yeah, he's going to find a location more to put him first to return to their rooms, or if they're checked out, find some place a little bit secreted, and surround himself with an alarm spell, and use Gonry as a little scattering spy.
Yeah.
Try and find location of the masked dragon and at least get an idea of how they're
Okay,
acting
so
or
roll
reacting.
me a stealth check for Gonry.
Come on, little guy.
Okay. Okay. You, Gonry, being salamandery and able to blend in, gets up pretty close to where you see the last wagon and the leader of this group of mercenaries and the other 10 mercenaries sort of gathered around. They seem to be huddled up into some kind of a talk about something. From here, you can't quite hear. You would need to make a... let me know what you want to do, whether you want to keep an eye on them or whether you want to try to hear them. You're muted.
As location, he's going to cast Clairvoyance. Just
I'm
sort of just above them. So he can listen to them.
Okay. Pencil with a range of location.
It's an invisible sensor that can listen, basically.
So for 10-minute casting time.
Oh, 10 minutes. I thought that was ritual. Okay, you can't do that.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah, no, then he will see. Yeah, no, he will. If there's any, try and just get it close enough that he can get.
So do a perception check to see how close Gonry has to get.
Yeah. Like right underneath their feet. Well.
On a 16, I'll let the current stealth roll stand. Or you can go ahead and use it. I mean, actually, you don't need to. I've already told you.
Gonry's perception or mine?
It's Gonry's perception. No, wait a second. How does that work with a...
You're seeing through its senses.
So it's its senses, so it hits.
Its
Yeah.
senses. That's a 6. I'm going to re-roll that.
Yep. So mark off on your luck die. In order for Gonry to get closer, he will need to do another stealth check to get within hearing range.
Okay. And he's going to go for it.
Oh man.
I'm going to re-roll that.
Go for it.
Got to be worth it.
Burn those luck dice.
I need to use them at some point.
Oh my gosh. The dice want to tell this story. So let's see. As Gonry is starting to get close up to them, you hear a few words, just sort of intermittent type words. Old blowhard knows something. Need to be prepared. You guys be on your guard. They're going to try something. And it seems a little bit back and forth. And then one of the members sort of spots this rainbow lizard and kind of gives a little bit of a squeal and just apparently doesn't like lizards. And just like shoos Gonry off, unless you want to let me roll an attack on him.
I mean, as soon as he's got more than enough, he's going to let Gonry do what Gonry wants to do.
Yeah.
And probably at some point, actually, just disappear the lizard until.
Yeah.
I've rubbed chicken on the floor and stepped on it. Disappear the lizard at some point when it's out of sight.
Yeah.
And so just poof it out of existence so they won't connect it to him. And then he is going to try and... he's going to try and... Where did Luck go?
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, where's Luck? What's Luck up to?
He's probably gone back to his room as he's sort of... like he's got the window slightly cracked open as he's throwing up some potions.
Okay. Yes, Axel might be actually in the room while he's doing this, because he can't see anything or hear anything. So they Wallace Winton made a fuss with the lift, so he's kind of alerted them that we might try something. But as far as I know, as far as I know, nothing's changed.
So what are the movements exactly?
Sorry?
He's asking for sort of specifics.
Well, I only got bits and pieces. They mentioned that that Blowhard, I think they're talking about Willis, knows something. They were talking about they might be prepared. Yeah, something along those lines. Might be they'll mention something. Be prepared that something's going to happen. They might be talking about us, or they might be talking about Wallace's group. Could be either.
Just to put it out there, as soon as Kel is done with his short rest, he will go find Luck and Axel wherever they are, even if they're inside the building.
Yep. So, you know where Luck's room is because you were there when he woke up. So you find your way back there. I'd say about the time that this conversation is happening, you can sort of knock on the door and head in.
Yeah. Who wants me to use the one to pot him off? You can turn into something big with very strong that can push him off. But I'll need to attune to it. It might be worth it, might not be.
So the risk we could take. What other things are we holding back on?
Actually, no, it's not a choice. It just happens. He's going to activate his power to get back. I didn't spend any spell slots. That's what I'm talking about.
No.
Yeah.
Thought he did. No, he didn't.
Oh.
No, because you ended up not casting it.
Not casting it, yeah. So, what am I tuned to? Sword, cloak, axe, cloak, and power. I don't even know a lot of them. Because there were the creatures that. It's like the things Axel actually needs to know what these are. Yeah, I actually need to look at the spell. But yeah, he's actually going to swap out his power for that one to polymorph.
Okay.
So he's going to change the one to polymorph during basically a short rest that he has.
Yep.
And let them know that they probably know either we or somebody else down the line is planning something. But probably they know that might be rumbled a bit.
Okay.
Kind of dropping out of character now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'd say about probably 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour passes. You guys discussing things, you getting attuned to the wand of polymorph, Luck brewing. Kel, do you have anything specific other than just to be a part of any conversations that are going on? You're muted. I can't hear you.
Really?
Oh, now I can.
Oh, no.
That was weird. Didn't say I was muted. So I'm presuming Kel gets told about the change in the lists and what happened with the merchant and the orcs.
Axel convey everything that the merchant mentioned to it. Yeah, that was mentioned to him, including, hey, we could make a deal with the orcs as well, but that's what he's willing to do, and that takes longer.
But if we do that, then their whole group will be up there, and they might decide just to leave and take who they've got. And have
It depends on when
hours
guards go back.
ahead of us.
It could be a safer option.
Well, that would be like a delay to what, 7?
Yeah.
As opposed to 1? I believe it was.
I'm getting it. I just got to get it in front of me. So I make
Well,
sure
that
I
was
say
the
it
last one of the day, and this one's going up at 1, and it takes 6 hours for a trip up,
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. So the 6 o'clock.
5 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be the 6 o'clock lift.
I don't think we can afford to wait.
No, don't want to wait that long.
About that time.
But you should inform George.
Yeah. Who is it?
Is a friend. You recognize Kelvin's voice.
I like to Sort of opens the door. He's good. Sort of, come on in.
So, it's come to my attention that few things you might be motivated by us, and also your friends that were with you last night have found themselves in a spot of trouble.
Where'd you hear it?
Well, Wallace is not the quietest there is.
Alright.
Hmm.
On to you.
Also,
Now
suddenly
remind me
I'm
who-
next in line.
Remind me who this is?
This is the orc
Uh,
who is rolling dice.
And I wanted to clarify, are they actually orcs or are they half orcs?
No, they are orcs. 6 orcs in a wagon.
Okay.
look, you see Luke is sort of standing right
Yeah, they're like Harold-sized orcs.
Big guys.
He's closed the door sort of behind you.
And he's just said they're next in line, as in the next lift.
No, as in
After
after the Mass Dragon. Yeah, tonight, 6 o'clock, we're going up. I've got a wagon, lettuce and produce, which I'm taking with me, but could be convinced to maybe not take it with me for the right price, or bump some of my boys off so I could still take it. But if there's a spot of trouble, not saying I wouldn't be against providing services of me and my boys if you need a safe passage.
You'd be there to help. Sure. Of course, you'd want compensation.
Of course. Business is business.
Good.
Seem to be throwing around gold and, magic items fairly liberally.
Yeah, that's what it's meant to look like, and it didn't work out, I think.
The problem is, our friends have already been captured. And if we make a deal with you and wait to go up, they'll know. They already suspect something. And if they're up there with their entire force, including their leader, who is still down here, I believe, at the moment, how can the three of us, plus you, hope to stand up to that large of and prepared a force?
It would be interesting, that's for sure, but I might have a piece of information for sale that would be helpful.
Kel looks at Axel because he doesn't have any money.
What price are we talking?
It's good that we didn't split the cash.
Well, certainly the talk of unregistered magic items always piques my interest, but for just information, he sort of looks you up and down, seeing the money that's been thrown around pretty liberally.
Which I don't think any of us spent.
No.
Yeah, but the party did. He knows how.
Yeah, the party did.
This guy looks like he's an adventurer. He sort of raises an eyebrow and with a little bit of a questioning tone. 100 gold.
Gold?
For the information
For the information.
and help.
Help's gonna cost you a bit more. I'm losing a load of produce I paid a pretty penny for.
You see him hold up his finger. How about this? He sort of reaches down into a bag. This oil here, I picked this up a while back. It allows you to step, I believe someone said, to step into the ethereal plane. It's the oil of ethereals.
Ah, yes. Definitely has some value to it, but I've got to check my D&D Beyond.
Various things.
Because then I can see how much it's worth and whether.
It's the equivalent of a 7-foot spell.
That,
What's its rarity? If anyone's got it in front of them.
No, I don't have it right now, unfortunately. I will.
It is a potion. Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
it's a useful thing to have D&D Beyond. At the same time, it's really slow on my computer.
Ooh, it is a. It's a rare. Ooh. So his eyebrow does raise a little bit on that. Those are usually fairly tightly controlled, and I'd be more than willing to take that for the information.
And how much more would you want for the help?
Oh, you'd have to pique my interest for me to go up against, as you say, a whole group of the the Masked Dragon Syndicate. That's the life of my men we're talking about.
Kel will turn to Axel and look and say, why are we even debating this? We have the money. They're our friends. They're in trouble. Give it to him. I want all of them dead. Every last one of them. Well?
Yeah, Axel's like rustling through the bag and pulling it out. Yep, I'm gonna sort this out. So, give us an item or give us a sum?
For the information, that was a good start. Then, for 6 of my men, a spot on my lift, getting rid of the wagon that I paid full price for, not to mention what the delivery that I would get for bringing it in.
Is there no way to repack your wagon to make room?
That's the rules of the lift. 1 wagon, 6 bodies, or 12 bodies.
Well, what if one of those bodies can be removed from the equation?
Doesn't get my wagon up. Standard sizing.
Well, we can replace 2 men if we need to. Although, yeah.
That's always an option. Sounds like you need all the muscle you can get, but entirely up to you.
We need the men, Axel. What we got?
Well, I have a range of scrolls. Axel lays out pretty much the scrolls he has there, all the common ones, and the other ones he's going to sort of put aside. So, Phantasmal Force, Sleet Storm, these are within my...
Phil also brings out his boots again, the boots that he had, that he was getting.
Yeah, again, item-wise, they're looking for things, basically it's things that are either rare and above, just to make this go quicker, rare and above, or spell level of level 4 or higher.
I can't remember which spells is which.
I know, that's what I was going and looking up too.
So
I don't have them all on the top of my head.
Goddamn snobs about their magic items.
Well, because again, remember, it's about what is controlled by the Arcana Mystica. And that's literally unavailable.
Yeah, the Arcana Mystica needs to die too. Kel does not say that.
I was going to say...
He thinks it. He thinks it.
You want to say that out loud?
Do you have issues with draconic creatures?
Draconic?
Yeah, kobolds and drakes.
Oh, well, that certainly comes in handy. The Masked Dragon likes to utilize their spellcasters. Nasty little buggers.
Well, this might actually serve both our purposes. Scepter of Dragon allows you to control well, less powerful dragonkin. Or charm them.
Now that's interesting.
It's not something you're going to come across, ironically, if we're on to a dragon syndicate.
Interesting.
That's
So
something on the
not
table.
only valuable for its own purposes, but they might be motivated to have it returned to them. Let's see.
Generally, I'm going to trade with the constant that doesn't
Do me a
go
persuasion check.
Go back to the people who oppose us. But, as you said, we are desperate. And
Persuasion?
I believe in you, Axel.
Look at that. Nice. It's kind of a shame to have all that wagon full of nice greenery go to waste, and I'm sure they'll be mad as hell up at the embassy that they don't have the salad for their party. But he puts out his hands. So, the oil, the scepter.
Not a deal.
it's a deal.
He shakes your hand.
Yeah, man, let Luck do the handshaking. He's sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
hit him.
Yeah, and since you're friends with him, Luck, and knows that you're an honest man, you don't cheat at dice. That's big in his book.
I don't cheat.
So, information first.
Right.
Highly doubtful that they're going to head across the plateau during the middle of the day. Puts them caught right in the middle of Raven Rock vineyards when night falls. They're a little too superstitious to find themselves in that situation without making it all the way to Sanctuary. So, if you ask me, what's going to happen is they're going to head up towards the old airship docks to the north of Windstone. Abandoned for a long time, partially destroyed by the Netherwings. It's where they built all the airships. Perfect place to hang out until you can leave at first light, so you can make it all the way to Sanctuary and not get caught by the Stone Druids. Your friends are going to be spending the night there.
So you're not allowed to, you're not supposed to cross the plateau during the night?
The Stone Druids are very specific. They know that no one can make it all the way across, so they've made a sanctuary around a cistern stone at the halfway point. If you camp anywhere else, you answer to them, and anyone who's superstitious is not going to find themselves there. And a lot like that, capable fighters, strong in battle, but mercenaries, superstitions there, stock and trade. You could have a mutiny on your hand if you try to ask a group that large to plop down in the middle of the vineyards.
Yes, we know they're heading north. I know that much. Magic. But still, in the end,
Lots of ruins, lots of
places to hide.
places to hide, lots of places to sneak in.
We could be in and out without the need of noticing it, but we could play a part.
With a distraction, probably.
Well, we need to start getting up first. Unless, of course, they might have all moved out, but I doubt it.
They probably might have some ways for us.
We're not the valuable ones, but they probably are still aware we're here.
That's the question. Do you think they have what they want, or do you think they're still that you are disposable? You might not have ever made it to the top.
No.
Honestly, I don't think any of us were important to them.
But they're willing enough to take others alive. They're probably willing enough to take us alive. But it's not something we're going to count on, but it's not something that's going to matter. We're not going up with him on the cart, and if we fight them, we fight them.
Yes.
And you've got some help along the way. Not to mention, I got someone who might be handy with this. They've got any of their little kobold friends with them. Wouldn't it be fun to turn them on our side against them?
That would be very useful.
He's got a big, nasty grin on his face that he's not a big fan of those kobold spellcasters.
If I had known those kobold spellcasters, I might have kept it to use it, but it's good, it's yours. It's a lot of useful information. Is there anything?
Well, he nods at Luck. Your friend here. He doesn't cheat at dice. He's a good man, and I like his dog. He gives.
Oh, everyone likes the dog. He is a good man. I haven't. Good old Grain. Grain is valuable.
Green is valuable. All right. Sounds. I guess our best plan here is we know what we're roughly up against. We'll set up our preparations and be ready for a fight.
Well, you need to decide whether you're going to go talk to Mick or not. Or the lift waits for no one. You just don't show up. He'll put his men on and leave without you. Figure you run.
We should not be seen. We should not talk to them. We should not give them the opportunity. We should leave the immediate area, hide, whatever.
Make a show of it, they'll think you're gone.
Yeah, there's no reason to remain here anyway, other than until the lift shows.
If anyone asks, we left early in the morning.
I think pretty much everyone realizes that you're aware that something's happened up there.
I was a bit worried, yeah.
In fact, why don't we just leave now?
Yes.
Make a show of it.
And be seen leaving.
Make a show of it. Dirty looks. Look upset, but that you know that you're powerless. He still has whatever you traded for your passage.
We plan to get that back.
It looks like our loss. We come back an hour or so before the lift goes.
We'll see you at 5:30 back here.
Right.
6 o'clock lift. Be there 30 minutes early.
Good.
He's a wary traveler. He's a nervous traveler.
Yeah, I do that all the time. That's me.
Yeah, I do that.
Oh, dude, I'm at the gate an hour beforehand.
Well, please, I fly out of LAX. You got to be there 2 hours early.
Oh, yeah. Well, Orlando
Minimum.
as well. Anyway, so guys, what are you doing? Kelvan leaves your room and heads back to the dice table and meet up with his boys.
Right. We'll make a show of this, people. We'll not be loud, we'll not shout, but we'll make it clear that we know something.
All right. Well.
Okay, get your stuff and let's go.
Yeah. You see, Look pack away his potions, pop them onto his bandolier, and wrap up his belongings, and waits.
Pack up all the stuff into the bag of holding.
Yep.
Prep spells and prep things. So we don't have to. Yeah, Axel's pretty ready.
So yeah, you guys.
Up in the morning.
Kel travels light.
So Kel's already ready to go.
So yeah, you guys. Tell me how you head out of town.
Kel will, as soon as he sees Axel is picked up and ready to go, Kel will be the first one out the door. And he'll be heading out the main entrance, making sure that he's. I don't remember the layout, but would that take him past where the wagons are?
Yeah, it literally, it's pretty much the inn and tavern is on one side. The stable yard where all the storage and wagons is on the other, and then there's a few little residential houses and the lift all the way at the top of the street. It's a one road town. So walking out the middle of the road,
heading out that way, walk past where the remaining wagon is. He will stop and look inside to see if there's anybody there where the wagon is.
Oh yeah, they're all 10 of them sort of sitting there. Let me do a perception. They're sort of turned into themselves. They're not really looking your way. But the wagon is actually pulled out of the little storage shed a little bit, and they're just sort of like lounging around, looking like they're waiting for their lift.
So Kel will stop and stand for a moment just staring at them, and then take a few steps toward them as if he's walking over angrily towards them, enough that he will catch somebody's attention.
Yeah,
but not get to them.
Yeah, with that, you see them turn, and then you see one of them sort of bump the other one, then they all turn, and there is a big old shit-eating grin on the leader's face,
and Kel will just stare at him and then just kind of let his shoulders slump a little defeatedly.
Axel will do the part where he sort of comes and guides Kel away.
Close his eyes and shake his head and turn away and let Axel lead him away.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of a look of surprise on his face, and then kind of a nod, and he just gives you a real shitty wave.
Come on, you two. Nothing we can do here.
And then we head out.
Okay. You guys head out of town, and I assume just keep on walking for a little bit. Do me some perception checks.
We might want to be a bit stealthy about this as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna one more beginning. Oh.
Kel, you keep a pretty good eye out back behind you. For about the first 20 minutes or so, you do see that it looks like a couple of the guys are following you. But once you get about 20 minutes out of town and you guys don't slow down, they seem to turn back and head back.
Despite that, even though I see them doing that, as soon as we're apparently alone, Kel is going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
And then using every bit of nature and survival ability that he has, lead Axel and Luck with him kind of off the road and try and kind of circle stealthily back around.
Yep.
Kind of circling around back towards his temporary camp.
Yep. No, absolutely. So you guys, as you head out, as soon as you see these other guys turn back, you keep, just to be safe, you keep walking for about another 10 to 15 minutes forward. Again, you've got some time to make sure that this works out for you. You wait until you can actually sort of get where there's some curves in the road where some of these little cabins, these stone cabins and other fencing and stuff like that starts to make it that even if you were on the horizon, people wouldn't see you dive in through and go through the fields. You go ahead and cast your Pass Without a Trace. I see Axel's stealth check. Looks like I need Kel's stealth check. It's plus 10. You can use a luck die, or you're sticking with it.
I think I'm sticking with
Okay.
that. 20,
So yeah, that's a 31, a 23, and a 20. Yeah, you guys sort of disappear into the fields. You find sort of a nice irrigation. Kel sort of takes you down through sort of an irrigation canal that's in here. Do me a survival check, stealth, Kel, to get you all looped back around. On a 10, it takes you a little bit more time than you'd like because this is just wide open fields. But you are able to find a safe path. You sort of go, being especially careful, it just leads you sort of way out through some of these irrigation canals, staying way down low. I mean, this is flat farmland. The crops are just coming in, so most of the crops are only at 2 to 3 feet high. So in order, unless you're going to belly crawl, you kind of have to be in these irrigation pits. And you use your survival, the flowing of the water, the way that you know that water's got to get to these plants, to be able to loop yourself around. And probably almost 4:30 or so, you make it back to the camp. Go ahead and throw me a perception check as you guys are doing this. Perceptions all around. So yeah, Kel, Luck, Axel, yeah, you all sort of look to the look towards the plateau, and about 1:45 or so, you see the dot that you know is the lift, the 1 o'clock lift heading up the cliff face. It is. You guys arrive back here at your camp. Anything special you guys want to do prior to meeting up with Kelvan and the orcs?
Kel is going to say, I think we should remain here as long as possible. And when we head back in, we need to be stealthy and on guard because they know something's up. They know we know something. They may have left one person behind as a lookout to inform them if anything changes.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, I mean, just by math, Axel would put together only 6 can go with the wagon. There's 4 that were displaced by your party who, by definition, are either still in town or somewhere. So, you guys are going to wait. Like I said, y'all are only about 300 or 400 yards away from the lift. So you guys can all but, don't go through town. Literally can zip right around and up the ramp of the lift. How do you guys want to go about doing this? Do you want to do either at 5:30? Do you want to wait until literally the lift is about to take off and you sort of stealth on there? Do you want to try to get
player question?
Go ahead.
Since we're going up, they're not taking their wagon? They're taking us instead of the wagon, and they're
Correct.
leaving the wagon behind.
Correct.
Okay, so there's no hiding in the wagon.
I'd say we just keep our heads down and join the orcs. At 5:30.
Yeah.
It would
5:30, yeah.
we put cloaks up.
Since it lasts 12 hours and I have already determined that it's not in danger of being killed, I am going to use my natural wild shape
Okay.
to become a mouse.
Okay.
And I will climb up on Luck's shoulder and just kind of hide between Graydon and Luck.
Okay. You can do that.
Telling Axel and Luck before I do this, when you go in, I'm not here, so we can have one more body, one more orc.
Well, they're going to have 12 people. I mean, they only have 6 orcs. What you really have is you've got 3 open seats.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah, because it's either 6 in a wagon or 12 seats.
Oh, okay. Then I don't do that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's not. We could have had everyone turn into a mouse, or 2 people into a mouse, if you really needed to.
Yeah.
Okay, so then never mind that.
Cool. So guys, are you going to show up early, or are you going to? Are you going to scout it out? How are you going to go about this approach, stealthy approach?
I say we try and disguise ourselves and just join up with the orcs.
Yep. I mean, Luck is certainly big enough that big enough in stature and build that under a cloak could, deep enough cloak if no one was paying attention certainly would blend in. Axel and Kel, just because of height, is going to be a little bit tougher, but you can certainly try.
I think I'm going to do that anyway, because if we're being observed, they'll only see 2 extra people along with the orcs, not 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought that's where you were going, is that you wanted to have the surprise.
It's still worth one, so Kel will do that.
Yeah, Axel can pull him off into a mouse.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he can.
Too much time.
Or maybe like a little cat. I think he's just going to be a little cat, a little kitten.
So we've got Luck and his
Dog,
animal
cat,
circus.
Mice.
Yes. It's like Circle of Life happening on Luck's shoulders. Good thing Luck has big shoulders.
Is that to expand the good pants? No.
Yeah, exactly. Luck. Are you stealthing? So if you're going to disguise yourself, give me a stealth or performance.
You could just attune to the hat of disguise.
Ooh, that works too.
I don't really have one. I only.
Dude, then you are an orc.
Yeah.
I can tell you the DC would go way down if you attune to the hat of disguise.
I'm just checking my attunement slots. The war pick doesn't require attunement last time. The pick.
The war pick is an attunement, yes.
Yeah, is an attunement. The boots of Alban kind
are an attunement.
Alban Mail
is not. I don't think.
Not.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I've still got.
Yeah, we'll rule for this. For these purposes, we'll rule for that. Or, yeah. Anyway. Luck in the time going puts himself on again with his stature, getting some tusks and turning his skin green is pretty easy to do. He does have a menagerie of animals. Actually, because orcs are a little bit hunchbacked, within sort of you guys can tuck yourself sort of within the illusion even a little bit here, so that it just looks like suddenly our buddies, it's 7 orcs, and without a wagon at this point. But so
Snow White and the 7 orcs.
Yeah, Snow White and the 7 orcs. But I'm not. Just do me a performance check, Luck, at like advantage, and I mean, you've been hanging out with these guys for 2 days, so you know their mannerisms pretty well.
14.
Yeah, on a 14, not a problem at all. You blend right in. You actually go ahead.
No. Yeah, just a couple of things in preparation. Axe is going to prepare a dragon stride road, just in case.
Okay.
He is also going to, when they're not plotting anything, he is actually going to spend the time to try and squeak out that revelation if he can. But depends on how much. They don't really have a lot of time. Well,
no, you're 2.5 hours just sitting. Yeah. So go ahead. Getting the rune ready is no problem. Go ahead and give me that Arcana check.
All right. I'm going to substitute. I'm just going to luck die there, actually. Don't waste my portents. 20.
On a 20. Oh man, you are You are right on the very edge of this one. You thought you had it this morning, and you kind of all but confused yourself a little bit, thinking you were so close and that you could do it. But you're nervous enough moving in the lift going upwards that you're just not able to concentrate enough, knowing and not knowing what potentially is waiting for you at the top of this lift in 2 hours.
Would he be on the edge of glory?
On the edge, yes. So anyway, on that, we are going to take our break, switch out casts as we leave Axel, Luck, Kel, and 6 orcs heading up the lift. Go ahead.
Do you want us to
And we can't watch, can we?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
Just checking. That's
Yep.
all right.
The smoke's gonna kill me.
Yep. So we will say goodbye to Axel, Luck, and Kel as we switch our group out. Folks who are just joining us, we run the channel 100% for charity. You can donate to affect the game down below in the doobly-doo by clicking on the banner. I'm going to take a quick break to go get a drink, and theoretically the rest of our cast should be coming in, and these guys are going to be saying goodbye. Tell us real quick where we can find you and what your thoughts are on today.
I'm totally unprepared. It's like, oh yeah, right. So I'm True North and Chat on Column 65 on Twitter. I don't do much on Twitter except retweet the things that I am in, one of which is this, which hopefully you've been enjoying and will continue to enjoy as the rest of our group has to deal with having been knocked out and captured after being ambushed.
Yep.
Woohoo! I am also in T. Fredrickson 80's Sunday afternoon campaign, also at 2 p.m. Eastern on her channel, where NNG9, who you'll be seeing shortly, and myself and some other fine players also play for charity in a very different campaign with very different characters and Claudius Brothers to Dick. I also have on my YouTube channel a playlist, which I'm frantically trying to bring up because I never have this link ready, where I have posted almost all of the music that I have written for, and that has been inspired by this very campaign. The Vice, there we go, bam. And so yeah, go there if you want to have a listen to some of the music, including the very creepy Song of the Feeders, and which I think everybody has PTSD about at this point. And is it okay if I watch long enough to hear Pun of the Week? I like Pun of the Week because she's probably going to be doing it.
Yeah, she'll have to do it first. So you can listen for Pun of the Week, but then you need to go.
And then I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And if you guys can go ahead and log out, because so the cameras will fall back into the right spots. But first, my other folks, let's go to Good Guy Pie. Quick.
Luke says that it's a good time. So Luke is going to say this. You can find Good Guy Pie on Twitch at Good Guy Pie. You can also find Good Guy Pie at Too Good To Guy. Luke thinks this is a good idea. You should go check him out. You should also check out the Bullies channel on Mondays at 8 o'clock GMT to see Darren fight. Luke thinks this is good. Luke appreciates you for listening to this message. Brought to you by 7 Orcs and a Cart.
Ooh, I like 7 orcs in a cart even better than 6 orcs in a wagon. Last up, we've got Templar Warden.
Why do I have to go after that?
I'm sorry. Why, dude? I'm gonna go for like an hour and a half after that. That's like that could have been the best end ever.
All right, yeah. I am Templar Warden, and once again, I was playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi Wizard, who will once again have proven he cannot scheme very well. You may catch me pretty much anywhere on the internet as Templar Warden. You may catch me on Twitter at Raynar Templar, and there is a link to the Vice Discord if you want to do any chats about what's going on or just be involved in the community. The link is below, and I'm going to drop that in chat and join us there and enjoy whatever horrors are going to happen and the Pun of the Week.
And that's the main horror.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
Anyway, guys, we will be right back as we are swapping out. We'll say goodbye to Kel and Luck and Axel, and then we will be jump right back in once we got the cast in. So see you guys in just a few. I'm going to switch you to the countdown screen so you don't see all these cameras going crazy.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
Look it out.
Be right back, folks. Hey, folks. So, we are getting the rest of our cast in here as we swap out. Going on to the countdown. I'll be right with you. I'll be back to when we get the other players in. So, let me get to my countdown screen and add me in some video. Hey, everybody. So, we are going into the second half of the Vice today. We are doing a split session because the party is split. We just watched as our friends with the first group tried to figure out their way to even get to the top of the lift. Now we've got our group that is captured, that is already at the top. Let's see what they're going to do because they are just up there kind of hanging out right now. So, they're hanging out, I say, as in tied up, trussed up, in the backs of wagons, unconscious. So, see where our folks are. Come on, folks, hop in here. I see you, dragons or cats. Jump into the Zoom. But anyway, so that is what is going on. Our party is captured right now. For those of you guys who are guys and gals who are first time tuning in, we run our station 100% for charity. If you look down below, you can find links to our charity that we are supporting for this month, the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. They are an amazing organization that is both providing resources for folks who are living with Parkinson's and then also helping scientific research to hopefully one day find a cure or treatments, even more effective treatments than they have now. So if you guys want to check out more of what they're doing, you can click on their name in the description. It'll take you right to their website, and you can find out if there are volunteer opportunities or just get more information about the organization. If you click on their banner, it'll lead you to our donation site where you can donate money to help influence the game and all the things that are happening out there. Dragon, Viridian, are you all dusty this morning? You gonna get dragons or cats in front of a camera or what? So I need that, and then I need a... Where is our... Oh, Luna, she's running from an airplane. So, yeah, we're a little bit delayed because of flights and stuff, but because of travel, just like we have with our lift here. So we've got two of our players who are... One of them who is in chat, but just hasn't joined us yet in Zoom. And the other one who I know is... I've got him. Give me 2 seconds. Bathroom first. Fine, I'll let you go to the bathroom. I know, right? Running from an airplane. Anyway, so for those guys just tuning in, our party from Blue. Did I miss a raid or something? We got a bunch of people while I was gone. I did, I'm sorry. Thank you guys for showing up. I'm gonna send out another tweet letting folks know that our second part has begun. And do a big old retweet-a-rooney that part 2. Part 2 starts now. With a half of the party that is captured by the Masked Dragonflight Syndicate. The Masked Dragon, which is our basically mafia. Organization in the capital city. Type of tea. I am drinking Tea's tea. It is jasmine green tea. It is like my favorite thing in the world. That's the label. You can get it off of Amazon if you can't find it at your local grocery store. It's in plastic bottles, so I'm ruining the environment, but I love it so. Okay, cool. I got an Alicia. Okay, we're waiting on you, dragons. And yeah, so that is what we have going on. I don't know what this group of the group is going to do, because part of the group is going to do, because they are in pretty dire straits. They are not aware of what is on the way, so we shall see. We shall see, and see what happens. What happens next? I claim they didn't listen. I'm hoping they didn't listen. We'll see. Yeah, were you out there listening or just reading chat, Jeanette? Cool. Just asking. Just, since I told them they couldn't watch. We'll get you guys loaded in here in just a second. Once we get dragons in. So anyway, are you going to do a pun of the week for us? Well, not yet, but I'll go ahead and swap us over, and we'll do pun of the week while we're waiting on dragons. Cool. Give me 1 second. So we're going to swap over real quick. Let me disappear, and I will reappear over in a different spot. Even better, a dragons or cats appeared. A wild dragons or cats appeared. And I need to swap over all of our names and stuff. And while we are doing that, we will let our good friend NNG9 give us a pun of the week.
Thank you, Jay. Hello, lovely audience. I know you've been waiting. It's your puncher. And it's time for Pun of the Week. What do you say to a worried guitar? What? Don't fret.
You're killing me. You're truly killing me. Oh, that was awful. That was awful. To start off, let's go ahead. Actually, let's go ahead and stick with NNG9. Introduce who you are and who you are playing.
I am NNG9, and I will be playing Luna, our water genasi monk who's not thrilled.
Why would she not be thrilled? I don't understand. Next up, we have Tree-Hugging Druid, who is... Tell us about yourself and who you're playing.
Hi, I am Tree-Hugging Druid. I play Celia Rollerin, our high elf rogue. She's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Cool. I am Tall Squall. That's who I am. I am Tall Squall. I am your host and your DM for today's session. I actually also will be playing Iska Toll, who is normally played by Bird vs. Plane, but he is unable to be with us right now. Do send your thoughts out his way. His family and him are going through some tough things right now, so sort of keep him in your thoughts and send some energy his way. But I will be playing his character, Iska Toll, and also DMing the game. To bring everyone up to speed, last episode, this group of travelers involving Iskra, Luna, and Celia, and Iska took the lift up with the masked dragon, and upon reaching at the top, were promptly ambushed by these folks, finding out that they were being taken or were wanted for various reasons, did I totally miss dragons or cats? I did, didn't I? Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about yourself. You're muted. Barely can hear you.
Oh, hello.
There we are.
Yes, I am coming all the way from down under the land of the Doridoos. I am playing Ishka, the legend.
A little bit louder. I know you're whispering because probably there's sleeping people close by.
There are some sleeping people close by, so I might just be doing this.
That works.
I have no idea. So I am Ishka, and I'm going to be playing the Legend Warlock, Dragons and Cats.
Cool. It's 4 a.m, or actually, I guess it's 5:30. It's actually like a reasonable hour this time for you.
Yeah, but I did wake up.
So anyway, they rode up to the top. Were ambushed, taken prisoner, and we will be starting as the party finds them in the situation that the party is awakening to find themselves in. First off, let's have con saves from everyone just to see kind of what order people come to. Okie dokie. Luna, as you come awake, your first things that you remember, you remember the sort of horrible shock and pain of the strange sort of bolo device as it went and wrapped around you, shocking you, knocking you prone, and then having one of the members of the Masked Dragon Syndicate then knocking you completely unconscious, putting you under 0 hit points. You wake up, you are stiff, your eyes are gummy. Just inherently, you know that you have been unconscious for quite a bit of time. You can't quite determine exactly how long it is, but you know you rode the lift up and arrived around 10:30 in the morning. Inside of this space, while you are not outside, there is some light coming in into this space, and it seems more like noon or early afternoon type light. You can do me a perception check to sort of see what your surroundings are like as you wake up. on an 11, your head's still a little bit.
Oh, I'm not muted.
You're not muted. Now we can hear you really well. But Luna, on an 11, as you come to, you are. The head is still sort of swimming. You get sort of just basics of your surroundings. You certainly know your arms are tied behind your back. They also seem to be secured to ropes that are around your waist. There is also sort of a band of ropes around your mid-chest, your knees, and your ankles. As you try to sort of test them a little bit, they are very tight. Seem to have been fairly expertly placed upon you. You are
mean mid-calf? Because you just said mid-ankle.
I'm sorry, like ankle, mid-calf area. Your feet,
okay.
you're tied together at your ankles, your knees. You have mid-chest, tying your arms to your side, and your wrists are tied behind your back together and to your waist. Having seen you in battle, they pretty much took all precautions, seeing your physical prowess. As you come to here, like I say, you find yourself sort of in this condition. You also realize you don't have any of your weapons, any of your jewelry, most all of your, other than your basic sort of underclothes, so to speak. I mean, anything that you would normally wear under armor as a monk, you don't have a whole lot to for them to strip down to. You're not naked or anything, but you are anything that appeared to be armor. They have taken from you. You do if you take
one item.
Yeah. It makes more sense with the others. But
just saying.
Yeah. You find, as you sort of give a little bit of a look around, you're sort of almost face into a corner, so you can just see that you are sort of in some sort of inside of some kind of a structure, and you're sort of looking into the corner of a wooden and stone constructed space. One wall made out of wood, the other made out of stone, the sort of stacked stone that you've seen a lot of the construction over the last ever since entering the valley type idea. That's about all you're able to glean at this time. Iskrin, you come to next. Can you roll me a perception check as you awake? You don't see crap because you've got a hood over your head, a gag in your mouth, and are basically bound about as tightly as you can possibly imagine.
Sorry, just to confirm, is Luna gagged or no?
Luna is not gagged.
Okay.
Yep, currently Luna is not gagged.
There is a squirming of something.
Yes, basically, yeah, you are pretty much. I mean, you find that's about all you can do. Pretty much as you move, you just ache deeply in your just sort of your bones, and the biggest thing that you realize is this sort of disconnect from the Feywild and your Fey heritage seems to be somehow have been interrupted, and you are feeling very solid. And sort of not just physically restrained, but somewhat magically and mentally restrained here, arcanely restrained as well.
That doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Next up is Cilia. You come to, and go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh.
Yeah, Cilia, you're there is one thing that is on your mind more than anything else. You realize that you are in what feels like iron manacles. They are extremely tight. Arms behind your back, ankles are manacled together as well. But the thing that is most on your mind is the fact that you are not wearing your armor. You do not have your medallion of Corellon around your neck. You don't have your rapier or your daggers. With a little twist of your boot, you can feel that your obsidian dagger from the Obsidian Order is not in your boot. But even on a natural 1, you do recognize that your ring is still on your finger. For some reason, them unable to part you from it. Lastly, Iska comes awake. Let me see what Iska sees. Iska's a little freaked out. She's sitting there in the room, and she actually has her back against a wall. Seems to have been treated a little bit more friendly as she had surrendered. Her arms are tied behind her back. She is not able to determine exactly how they are, but they are definitely tight. Her feet seem to still be free. She has vague recollections of, sort of stumbling around almost in a daze. And as she looks around, she does see the 3 of you guys in front of you, all sort of lying on your sides in various state of bonds. And you guys come awake in this space. As you come to, you can take a little bit more look around if you'd like, or whatever. I turn it to you guys.
So I'm assuming that translates to we can make another perception check if we want?
We'll go with an investigation at this point, as you sort of try to investigate your area, just to make it so it's got a little bit of a different flavor to it.
I wiggle a little bit and attempt to... I wiggle.
Okay. Yeah, Iskrin, you're about as helpless as can be. Cilia, on your 14, after getting over the loss of your items, you start to take in your surroundings here. You seem to be in almost like a storage area. You notice that it really only has 3 walls. There is, on the far wall is stone, and then there's sort of 2 side wooden walls. It kind of reminds you of like in a stables, where how you would partition off horses from each other. The solid wall goes up to about 6 feet, and then above that probably goes up for another 3 feet with sort of open sort of bars. The biggest thing that you notice, there is no ceiling on this space, and directly across from the stone wall, it is just open to a much larger area. As you look upwards, you do see part of a roof, probably 200 feet above you. It is ruined somewhat. It reminds you somewhat of the Grand Eastern Station in construction, of just that sort of massive vaulted ceilinged space. However, this is... you only see part of the roof. You can see that other parts of it have caved in or are open to the sky.
All right. She would. She would let the group know what she's seen. And she says, anybody got any ideas?
We need to get the bindings off first.
Hey Jay.
Yeah.
Question. Like the stuff that is holding Celia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does Celia know, like, if she purposely, like, broke her thumb, would she be able to slip her hand out?
Do me a history check with advantage, actually, because this is something that you would have
Been trained with.
and you look at them and with a sigh recognize it's actually you recognize the ones at your ankles because you can't see the ones at your wrists. These are what are known in the Obsidian Order as Mending Manacles. They are basically someone has made a solid circle of metal, had a blacksmith break it, keep the parts, and then a magic user put your arms through it and ankles through it, then cast Mending to return it back to a state. There is no hinges. There are no hinges. There is no lock. They have been basically magically mended onto your wrists and ankles, and pretty much short of cutting your hand off or cutting your foot off are going to about the only way to get out of these. There is no way to pick them as such. It's about breaking them, which
When I wiggle around, I make a lot of noise.
As much as possible. There does seem to be some straw on the ground, not lots of it. It is basically a stone floor. It's pretty uncomfortable. Also, sort of this net that is surrounding you. Of course, there's knots at every junction of the net, so those are sort of poking into you. But it's not, at this point, you're just sort of in the middle of the floor, so there's nothing really to make noise against.
My hands bound while I'm in this net.
Yes.
Or am I just like net? Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Can I? And it's just rope.
I mean, you know that from just your sight, even though you have burlap, your sight, your weave sight, can go through light objects, just like detect magic, as that's basically what it is. You can tell that this rope is what is interfering with your connection to the Feywild and is sort of magically attached itself to you.
So there is no chance to slip on out or break it open.
You can certainly try, but again, this has been sort of magically applied netting. It's not just of standard. It's not just like you're wrapped in a fishing net. It is specifically. Do me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, it's holding you, and is magical, and it sucks.
It does. Okay, so let's see. Can I try to spit out the gag?
You can. Give me a it's probably acrobatics. I mean, this is to somehow be able to use your tongue to get this spit out of your mouth. On an 18, you start pushing forward on it, trying to get it out, but basically you think you've got all the way out, and you just feel it's like almost like on elastic, so it's almost like a ball gag. It is not. It's. You scared the hell out of a bunch of people, and there's a magic user out there who kind of knows how to disable magic users. Your buddy the kobold.
Yeah.
You're gonna make a hat out of him, aren't you?
I'm gonna make a shoulder pauldron out of him. Can Can I try to use my long ladron fingers to try to undo the knotting at the back of my hands?
You can give it a try.
I'll give it a try.
That's going to be just a dex check.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's a disadvantage because it is behind your back, and again, they are very aware of what they're dealing with.
Can I do a trifecta here and use a bardic inspiration, an advantage dice, an advantage roll, and a luck dice?
I think we've said you can't double spend.
Yeah.
So you can certainly spend a you can spend one and then luck die to spend the other.
Okay. I'll spend the advantage.
So that's going to get you to a standard roll.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. So this is dexterity check.
Dexterity check.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
My dear. Can I use a luck dice?
You can always use a luck die.
I don't like these.
And now are you going to play? Well, and then you can call it whether you want to spend a bardic inspiration after that. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
But you're at disadvantage now.
Yeah. All right. Luck dice.
Okay. 18.
With the bardic inspiration.
Okay, roll me a d12.
Just gonna. I hate this. I hate this so much.
So that would bring you up to a 23. You think you've got it. You think you've really got it. DC 24 on that, buddy. It is. These guys knew what they were dealing with. When after you blinded one of them, teleported, and we're gonna cast big nasties. So yeah, they. You had a chance, but I'm sorry. Yeah, you are not quite able to get these bonds off. I will say you're a little bit looser than you were before, but you are bound tight. I'm going to... Luna, do you have something you want to do?
Let's see. So wrist, hands, knees, and ankles. So Luna will lay flat and roll over to where Celia is.
Okay.
And after she gets to where Celia is, she will put, check to make sure because Celia's just manacled, right?
Manacled ankles and wrists.
Ankles and wrists? Okay.
Yep.
So I will put my ankles at the ankles at her manacle and use that as an edge to start fraying at this rope.
Okay.
It'll take a while, but it's...
Yeah, it's something to do.
Yep.
So you start fraying away at this. Oh, go ahead.
Can I cast Firebolt at her rope? Sorry, Luna.
Remind me, does it have somatic components?
That was my question.
Yeah, vocal and somatic.
Yeah, with your bound wrists, you're not able to get the movements out there.
I tried. I was gonna try and make it go a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But
so do me we'll let you do an acrobatics check on that for getting the edges lined up and to start doing that.
Sure thing.
Can I kind of help her guide it?
I'll give you advantage as you all try to work together on this. So with a 24, you start to work these. It's a fairly thick rope, but you are making progress. You can feel the edge of it dig in as you are working at it. Iska finally comes to more too. I mean, she was sort of shaking it off, and sort of looks at the party and goes, "I got a message off. I got a message off to Axel, so they know."
That is good thinking.
I surrendered. She kind of sounds guilty about it.
That was the smart thing to do after we were all unconscious.
Well,
You did good.
she kind of looks at you guys, seeing all of you guys' wounds, and has a few wounds, but nothing of any substance on her. Just, I feel bad that maybe I should have fought.
Iska, feel bad after we're free. We don't have time for that.
Well, you guys look pretty banged up, but I'm still pretty okay. What can I do? How can I help?
You said so it's 3 stone walls and then 1 wood one?
No, so it is 1 stone wall, 2 wood ones, and then the other wall opposite the wood is only got little, as though there was a door there, but there is no door there anymore. It's as though the gate of the sort of stable, not kennel, what's a horse kept in? Stall, right? It's a stall. Yeah, you call it a stall. Sure. Yeah, it's as though the stall is off of that. You can do me a perception or investigation check as you sort of take another look around. On a 9, because it's not too hard to see once you maneuver yourself, about 60 feet, or you see a barrel and about 3, from what you can see, 3 members of the of this group of mercenaries. We're going to call them what they are, because you guys know that, members of the Masked Dragon sitting there sort of playing guards. And every once in a while they do take a look up and sort of see what's going on. Currently, what you guys are doing is not, that it's
we're
basically
playing footsie.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, they're kind of more just hanging to when they need to go intervene, they can, but they have direct line of sight on, pretty much whatever you guys are doing inside of there.
Okay, so they're close enough to see what we're doing, but far enough away that we don't think we'll be overheard.
With whispering, you can certainly
sure,
you could whisper and be pretty sure you're not going to be overheard.
Okay.
She looks to Iska looks to Luna, and I'm trying to remember. Actually, this is completely out of character. It's just my old man memory. Did you get your horn in your Christmas goodie bag? Isn't that where you got it from back at the?
I know I got it before the Vice. I have no idea. I don't remember what it was.
I'm trying to remember whether everyone saw it. Whereas if it was in your goodie bag, everyone sort of opened their presents together. I think it was because you had the upgraded goodie bag, and I think I tried to talk you out of it because I was heading into the Vice.
You did try to talk me out of it. That is for certain.
Yeah. So we'll say Iska just sort of goes, "Can we get to the horn?"
They would have all our belongings. I don't have it.
But if we could get out and get to it. Didn't you say it brings people?
It does. Do you think you can convince the guards to, either distract them or convince them to give us some of our belongings back? I assume they intend to sell it all.
I guess. I don't know. And she sees Iskrin all tied up in. If only we could teleport, that would be good. We just need to. If I had my instruments. She seems a bit frustrated.
Can it be? Does the instrument need to be? Okay, sorry. So in our surroundings, so we're in like a stall, but there's like no hay or anything nearby.
There is some hay. There is hay around. There does not seem to be any sort of tools or anything right here, but there is hay around. Old, not lots of it, just general detritus of even packing materials. If they had unpacked crates here, things that hay or other types of things that would have been used to protect items.
Okay,
fragile
so maybe
items.
some hay, maybe some stray wood chips, possibly, or just hay.
I mean, you have 2 wooden walls there. You could do an investigation check to see if you can find some wood chips. I mean, certainly, Lord knows I've seen enough people with ECVs bump into wooden walls that I've had to repair.
Oh, there we go.
On a 15, yeah, I mean, you could find some wood chips. I mean, you'd have to, spot them. You need to sort of figure out how to collect them. But yeah, I would say hay and, roll a 6. You can spot 6 fairly nice-sized chunks of wood that have been knocked off these wooden walls over the course of the years, or pieces of crates or things as they've opened up packages.
Does the instrument need to be magical?
No, just well, it depends. But for some of my songs, I just need an instrument. There's a couple that I can use my voice, but the chords are, I can use my voice. The choruses, that music that I found way back with the Green Dragonflight, I just need the music. I just need to be able to make music on something. Well, or it's got to sound like music.
I could try to carve you something out of the spare leavings here, but I'd need my hands. It's a bit freer, if not completely.
I'm going to do a quick insight check see if Iska picks up on what you're going. I think I pick up on what you're going for.
It's an idea.
Hey, it's a good idea. On a 17, Iska sort of looks at you and sees you going around. She goes, like a mouth harp. Yeah. And Iska starts sort of going around to try to see what she can gather up. I'm going to do a dexterity. Yeah, it's going to be just a flat-out dexterity because she does have her arms tied behind her back, but she can actually stand and such. Her feet are pretty clear, so she's going to start scooting around. On a 14, she starts this process of trying to figure out how to use these things and put together some type of a improvised instrument. What's Cilia up to?
How far along have we gotten with Luna's rope?
It is slow going. Hey, suddenly, how you doing?
All right. So Cecilia's gonna tell Luna to hold on. And can she, bring her hands, under her into her front?
Acrobatics check for me, as you are a lithe rogue. I'll let you give it a try. Well, yeah. Yeah, you can. Do me a sleight of hand check to do this without the guards, without it being a big motion that would catch the guard's eye, doing it slow enough or whatever. On a 21, yeah. Well, let me at least give them a chance. I need to at least give these guys a chance.
Give them one chance.
Oh God.
Not 20.
No. Oh God.
It was 1?
Oh no, yeah, a 9. Yeah. No, I was just looking at their wisdom score. I'm like, oh, we don't really need to roll that at all.
I got a real good hand, Carl. Just saying.
Yeah.
Their wisdom is they have to roll a natural 20.
Well, the one that I chose, there's you see them in different armored folks out there, but I chose one at random, and I happened to chose the bad one.
You've been chosen.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so she is going to kind of turn her body to face Luna, and she's going to hold her hands out and hold her feet out, say, use them both.
Well, her hands are behind her back. She can only do one at or do you mean like the knees? Is that what you mean? Because Luna's hands are tied behind her back and to her waist.
How are her hands tied?
Luna's hands are tied with rope. Yeah,
I'm assuming in a cross pattern like that.
Yeah, like I say,
or like,
it's sort
or
of
like behind the back.
behind her back, and then the rope is also tied to the ropes at your waist. So like you can't move your wrists away from your waist.
Yeah.
And there's a good, I'd say 4 to 5 coils around each wrist, and then 4 or 5 coils around her waist.
Where does the rope end?
Do me an investigation check.
28.
On a 28, interestingly enough, it does not seem to have an end.
Can I do a history check to see if this is just like never-ending rope?
Go ahead and do a history check for me.
17.
17. Again, you've while the rope is being damaged and doesn't seem to be inherently magical, you do know again of knowing people who know things about knots know that knots can be untied, and so very much like your manacles, these have basically it's been made into a continuous loop of rope. They took the 2 ends together and.
All right. Can I? Celia's gonna hurt herself. Can she move the manacles down her arm?
You can certainly you can certainly try. It's going to take an athletics check to actually move them.
Okay, I will try.
Okay.
18.
On an 18, you're able to move them. You are able to move them down a little bit, and again, with their tightness, that edge that is on the top of your forearms absolutely draws blood and does 4 scraping damage. I believe you're at 1 hit point, so you pass out.
Yep. I tried.
I would say it's not, it's not lethal. It's not lethal damage.
Freedom, so I could do somatic stuff.
Yeah, no, it's not lethal damage, so you're not bleeding out, but you are knocked out.
Slap me awake, guys. Slap me awake.
I can't actually do that.
Kick her awake then.
Yeah, you're knocked out for a while.
Is it possible for me to summon Lysithia to mentally scream out to where he is and to draw him as a dagger?
Do me an Arcana check.
So come on, man, I need you. I need you right now to do your thing. And he's probably not going to do it.
On 11, you scream out for Lysithia, and whereas before you hear it sort of echo through the waves of the Fae across the plains into this sort of pocket dimension, you hear no answer.
You cry out and say, "Save me." He looks down and says, "No."
Exactly. Can I attempt to, throughout this entire time, to just try to loosen the rope, or are they just magically tighten, and they're going to stay magically tight?
You pretty much scared the hell out of them.
I know. Good.
You can do do me another Arcana check, just to see if you feel that you're making progress. You feel that you are making progress, but it is very, very slow going. On the 15, you are able to identify that what's happening here, it's you've heard of in your past lives, binding someone to a plane. Kind of similar magic that is happening to you is that this net, and because it's in contact with you, has bound you to the plane, so you are unable to step through the veil to the Feywild and back.
Memories. Oh, good. I'm going to slowly work over time, trying to loosen the bindings around my wrists.
Okay.
So I can either try to slide it out, or I get to the point where I can stretch them out to pull my hands free.
Okay.
Over time.
Gotcha.
Regardless of what everyone's doing.
So,
very subtly.
Yep. Yeah, you're inside this net, so, I mean, you've pretty much been discounted as a threat at this point. They've trussed you up so bad, but, with some subtlety, you can certainly work on things. Luna, Celia has passed out next to you. Iska is still sort of working around the room, trying to gather together pieces. Anything you would like to do or advice you would like to give?
I just want to confirm something. I think I already know the answer. To do any sort of key ability, I have to be able to move.
I've been thinking about this all darn week. Because there's not. It's odd. Key is odd. What I came on is that if it is replicating a spell, you would need to be able to do something similar to what is required for that spell.
Sure.
If it is one of your inherent sort of monk abilities, I'm gonna say you don't. Just because to me, to me is a changing yourself within your body. It just requires your focus. So that's where I landed on it. I'm sure there's other rulings out there. I claim that that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, hey, rules are there for you to interpret.
Yep. So that's what I came up with.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Yeah, I don't really have any further advice to give Iska, unfortunately, besides do an improvised movement. But so Celia is unconscious, but I can still work on the manacles while she's unconscious. Yep. So that's what you do.
Cool. I'm going to do another dexterity check by Iska to see how she's coming along. On a nat 20, that will count as 2 successes towards the 3 that she needed. She has gathered these components together. And
oh, sorry. One more quick question. So
yep.
My wrists are bound, but my fingers are not?
Your fingers are not bound.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
What are you thinking, or how can I help?
Oh, well, now that's a new piece of information, and I have to think of what to do with it.
Okay, just another piece of information. Yeah. So I gotta remember all of the different things that Iska's got. With that, we are going to have Iska begin to start assembling. I'm going to do a history check for her. She was with sort of a honky-tonk Old South band to see if she recalls one of her band members either playing or knowing something about putting one of these together. I am going to go ahead and use one of her luck die because this is important, and I think he would do that. On a 13. Basic idea, but it's going to take a little time and a little putting, a little experimentation for her to try to get something put together. If you're just working on that, Iskrin's working. So after about, what did I come up with? About 12 minutes, and Celia, you come back too.
I'm back.
So yeah, your arm is bleeding. The pain was not great. What are you up to? Or trying to be up to?
So now that her hands are kind of more free, would she be able to do the somatic components?
Of trying to do the
Trying to firebolt the rope.
roll me a dexterity check to see whether or not you are able to. And unfortunately, you just don't have the freedom of movement with this to get a firebolt
Well,
off.
I tried, and she will go back to Luna and start trying to...
Luna's still been using your unconscious body to get free.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't worry.
Thanks. I love you too.
That's what friends do.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ishkrin, at this point, how's he going with the wrists?
Roll me a dexterity check.
Does the binding seem a little less difficult as before?
Potentially.
Could be. Who knows? Still a great roll.
Yeah, you're still making headway. However, you've not quite gotten yourself there. Your wrists are becoming raw as you're working on them. So to try to keep yourself conscious.
Then I'm going to stop and kneel, or fetal position in my net bag, and I'm going to attempt a short rest.
Okay. Yeah, you can. You basically start to go into your elven trance, since you don't really sleep, but basically rest and get yourself somewhat recovered. We will see how it goes. And
I was going to say, like, just to be clear, so while I am working on throat and I know it's slow going, to be clear, she would not go to the point where the rope actually breaks,
okay,
but where she could break it easy enough, but just by, like,
popping
quickly.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. I am going to have old Iska do another dexterity check to see if she can get this together. Ooh, look at this. On the
That's
nat 20.
my baby girl.
Oh, dude. She has constructed, with 2 nat 20s, been able to, even with not knowing exactly, a pretty good approximation of a mouth harp. And so she kind of looks at Luna. So, options. I can shrink someone. Or, I don't know exactly how this will work. She looks at the ropes on you and the ropes on her. I can cast a spell that... Actually, you saw this, what I used back in the trap. The rope will magically rise into the air and make an interdimensional space that we can hide in. But, and she looks to the others, I don't know how we'll be able to climb the rope with all of these around us, and I don't know whether the rope will pull me with it, or you with it, or whether it will just untwine. I don't know what's stronger.
How long does the shrinking last?
Stand by. D&D Beyond for enlarge, reduce. One minute. About a minute.
1 minute. Okay. And just because, like, so when you're shrinking down a size category, essentially, so you'd go from, like...
Target size is halved in all dimensions, and its weight is reduced to 1/8 of normal.
Okay.
One size category, from medium to small, for example.
I would say if you're going to shrink someone, it should be Celia. Her bonds are the hardest to get out of. With enough time, we can escape our bonds. And she is the stealthiest.
Okay.
Do you agree, Celia?
She just holds up both of her arms and it's like...
It's like, got it.
Yep.
I just gotta look something up really quick on the cast, because that's one of the tricks with this, with these custom magics.
She would let you guys know that if she can somehow get a weapon, she could use her ability that lets her reach into the void. She would let y'all know that's how she got there last time. So, and she could possibly try and bring somebody with her. But it would be very difficult.
You would need a weapon of some kind first.
Yeah, I need a weapon. If I can somehow, like, as an itty-bitty person, go kind of sneak a weapon from one of the guards, like sleight of hand it off of them, and then just quickly, like, run back, it could be a way. I would have to be, like, really fast, though.
Yeah.
We're talking, like, triple dash.
I'm gonna do a quick little thing for Iska of
Yeah, because the space that you hide in, it just stays there, right?
Right.
You don't go anywhere. Okay.
Yeah, the rope trick. It's casting rope trick, is what
Yeah.
she's able to do. Which it's just there's a space at the top of the rope. It's a cheap man's mansion.
Gotcha.
Iska on a 14 looks at Celia and she goes, "What about the dragon? When you made the dragon go away, can you make one of us go away?"
I can, but I don't know. Like, whenever I use that ability, it harms whoever is sent there.
She looked, "Me. I didn't take much damage. Send me. And what do you want me to do afterwards?"
There's a friend of mine that might be there. I'm not entirely positive. His name is Mithrani. He's the Void Guardian that I had to fight in order to get my title. Tell him that we need help. And he may be able to help us.
Okay. I'll do it. But should I shrink you first so that we've got you out? Then...
Yeah, otherwise it's...
Well, once you're out, can you do it to anybody?
To one person, yeah.
But they need to be healthy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can try and focus the damage out to make it not hurt you, but it's the void. I don't know what's going to happen.
She looks a little scared at you saying that it's the void, but steels herself. Well, she looks at Iskren. Do you think Do you think that Iskrin would that thing would go with him? Do you know?
There's a possibility.
Okay. I'll do whatever. But shrink first, right?
Shrink first, yeah.
So.
To be clear, we are shrinking Sylvia, and you will be going to the void to hopefully recruit Missani's help. Correct.
Yes? She asks questioningly to the party.
Celia will kind of tell Iska like she doesn't know that, I guess, plane very well. She's going to call it a plane. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know if it's a plane, but she's going to call it a plane. She doesn't know it very well, but she will try to explain to Iska as best as she can where she encountered Mithrani.
Okay.
And hopefully she'll be able to follow those instructions.
Yeah. So with that, let's keep on moving around our sort of action order here. Iskrin, make me a Constitution saving throw at advantage to see if you keep your concentration on your short rest.
Okay. Go, character sheet, go.
On a 16, you have taken a short rest. You are welcome to spend hit die, and your short rest abilities have returned to you. Ooh, look at that max heal.
All the hit die. All of them.
One more. Perfect. Now let's do some math.
I was going to say, good Lord. So that's, I can tell you, you've got 32 before we even get, 31 before you even get started. 45 with the 7, 50, 58. That's 58 points of healing.
Excellent. Hello, spells.
You are still bound. Do me a Arcana check with advantage of while you were meditating.
16.
On a 16, this net
is the bane of my existence.
It is, but it is somewhat simple in its magic. It is not elegant in any real way, and it
could. Oh, actually, yeah. Continue. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna stop.
Well, I need to be able to talk. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, even while, well, actually, no. I need to be able to talk to do anything or my hands. I mean, can I like mumble and use my hands at the same time?
You can mumble. Yeah, and let's have Celia and Luna do perception.
Just quietly.
Celia, yeah, you recognize Iskrin seems to be awake after having been motionless for a little while and is attempting to talk. But yeah, you can get over there, sort of get your ear close to him. this sort of net-bound worm of an Eladrin.
Question.
Yeah.
The net, would I be able to kind of reach and take the gag out?
Let's see. Your hands are in front of you or inside the manacles. You can try. It's a dexterity check, and it's going to be to try to reach your fingers in there. But yeah, your fingers are pretty much free. Your arms are in front of you. The net is fairly tight, but it's not awful.
Okay, dexterity.
Dexterity.
Gross. Why am I rolling such crap?
Nope. Unfortunately, yeah, just as you are trying to maneuver it, there's ropes that seem to sort of all but, the net kind of is holding it so that you can't pull it out of his mouth. Do me a perception check, Iskrin.
I have like 0 senses.
Oh, that's right. You're under a hood. So yeah, you were trying to reach through the hood as well. Ooh.
I can see her weave.
You can see her weave, but more importantly, as her hand comes towards you, and both hands have to come towards you since they're manacled together, you see the truly elegant magic of her ring on her finger, even through the burlap sack.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
So
He stops swimming a bit and just...
You're still with us, but are you... What's up? What are you hearing?
my computer just freaked out. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
Celia passes out. No.
Ishka hears what you think is his head turns up towards Celia.
That was weird. Okay. So I just reread my Ring of the Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do this 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to, like, how do I put it? Am I only allowed to have, like, one person banished at a time? Or...
You don't know.
We can try.
You can certainly try.
We can certainly try. Okay, sorry, I'm reopening things that decided to close.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 2 nice, healthy people, so I could try and banish both Iska and Iskrin. She would tell Iska to make one of the priorities whenever we get there, unbinding Iskrin.
Good plan.
And then go and find Mithrani.
Yep.
And try and get him to help.
Remember where you are. Yes, certainly. Let's go.
All right, let me lock in. I gotta log into things real fast before we do this.
So, to get you out. So is this? So yeah. First, shrink. Let me just make sure I understand the plan y'all are proposing here. Shrink, banish, and see what happens. And the DM makes lots of rolls.
Yep. The DM gets to talk to himself as Iska talking to Miss Ronnie.
That'll be fun. Meanwhile, Iska disappears while we're all left here.
So the other question is, you've got guards who are sort of looking over. You've got just been moving a little bit. They're still not concerned, but they see that you guys have been moving. Are you going to try to do anything to hide what is happening?
Well, okay. So you three are going to be the ones that can't escape. How? Trying to think. Let's keep moving around. That's fine. Luna's going to stop working at her ankles, knowing that she's not there yet.
Yeah.
And what would be best?
I love how Celia's gonna try and banish the two people that have the best charisma.
Well, but as we've all learned recently from different Critical Role stuff and whatever, you can always opt to fail a saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. It's not a saving for...
Oh, that's hilarious. That's great.
Yeah.
Banish two with the highest charisma.
Also, it's not a saving throw, it's a check. That's one thing I've heard.
It is actually a save. It is actually a saving throw. We read it wrong, but it was cinematically epic at the time. So
that's true.
But anyway, so what's Luna up to?
I just moved sort of to the front of the gathering to be in front.
Yeah.
Because my binding's still in place, so
right.
Just to give, when necessary, a little bit of cover.
Okay. So I'm gonna have Iska do a sleight of hand.
I believe.
Iska do a sleight of hand. That makes sense. To first try to do her performance to cast the spell. So yeah, clock will be ticking from when we do this. So she's gonna do a sleight of hand. On 17, and let me roll it. Let me roll my horrible.
I'm just waiting for that nat 20, man.
It's gonna be any second.
They are playing some cards. There must be high stakes up there as they are playing some cards, and Iska is going to do her performance check, as that is how these are cast. On a 22 performance check, and with a almost just looks like she's coughing, she brings the little mouth harp up to her lips and begins to play Calliope's March. And Iska, you shrink to half your size. And I'm sorry, Celia, you shrink to half your size and now easily can pull your arms and legs out of these manacles, as they are magical, but they aren't magical to the point of that they would shrink along with you.
Yep. All right. She will pull herself out of the manacles, and she suddenly becomes a mom. She has her fist ready.
You've been training with Luna a lot.
Yeah.
She has her fist ready for whenever she becomes... Actually, her ring shrinks with her. Can she go ahead?
Yeah, her ring shrinks with her.
Can she go ahead and punch Iska and punch Iskrin to try and banish them both?
Okay. So it is a bonus action in action, so it's they're going to be 6 seconds apart, sort of in their banishing. Is there someone you're banishing first or second?
She's going to banish.
I'd say Iska first, since Iska's actually free, and that might go with Iska, and we don't know.
Yeah. We'll go with Iska just to be safe.
Okay. So Iska is ready to take it, so I'm not going to make you do an attack roll because she's basically going to lean into the punch. But I do need you to roll a d4 + 1 to see how many rounds that she disappears for.
Oh no!
So Iska disappears. Right after that, you immediately go to take a punch on to Iskrin. Again, he's trussed up and whatever. It's basically a critical. You can do a critical on him and bop him.
I love this plan.
Yeah, bop him in the shoulder. Do a 1d4 plus 1 on Iskrin. So literally, so you see both of them boop, boop, zip out, pop out of existence. And the most interesting thing that you see is the net just collapses to the ground. Iskrin, you find yourself in a dark, pocket dimension. There are none of the things that you've heard Celia describe are here. There are no mountains, clouds, lightning, ruins, even ground, it seems. This is the void. You are, as an Eladrin, having traveled things. You couldn't have described it had you not been here, but it's almost like a song or a smell long remembered. As soon as you smell it again or whatever, all of the memory floods back of the void sucks. Pretty much.
Infinite darkness.
Yes. The one thing that is there with you is Iskrin. I'm sorry, Iska. And Iskrin in the void. She, as soon as you pop into existence, you see her reach forward and pops the gag out of your mouth. Because she was 6 seconds after that. So, yeah, and basically almost just as soon as she pops it out of your mouth, she looks at herself as she starts to fade out. She pops back in, having taken 2d4 damage, taking 4 damage, and pops back into existence. You see weird black sort of tendrils of smoke and void energy coming from her from little like scratches in her body. And 6 seconds later, Iskrin appears, having taken 3 points of void damage, standing, basically lying on top of the net, because you basically return in the same area that you left from.
Okay.
I am going to roll some perception for our folks, because...
One thing I want to ask, did Iskrin or Iska get to yell really quick, Miss Addie, what do you need help by? Just asking.
Yeah.
Just because Iska was waiting 6 seconds for Iskrin to get there?
Yeah, I could say that she yelled it out. Yeah, because she did have 6 seconds while she waited. So, she yelled it out, but yeah, didn't see...
Sure, yeah. Wasn't expecting a response, just something.
And let's
in that
just...
In that time, I was left alone for that 6 seconds because I've summoned Lyle to my hands in the form of a dagger.
In the void outside of that as a warlock? Yeah, you could have.
He's dagger, and I'm just like, Lyle, I need you to be a dagger for a minute while I try and cut this shit. While I try and cut these ropes off.
Yep. So you in that 6 seconds, I believe summoning your packed weapon is an action, but you will have him in your hand when you reappear lying on the ground. Your wrists and ankles still bound, but your mouth is open. You're
looking at. Is it just a door? Is it just a doorway that they can see through, or is it just an entire big open area?
It's just an entire big open area. And give me 1 second, because I need to roll some. Perception on these folks. Good God, did I really make all these guys suck this bad?
Yes, you did.
Good night. There it is. So, as you guys sort of reappear, you do see one of the guys look up from his cards. You all are still laying on the ground. The light's kind of dim in here. He sort of stands up from the table, human, so he doesn't seem to feel like something's going on, but in this sort of dimly lit place, has yet to make out details other than that people have moved from where they were. What do you guys want to do?
Can Celia sleight of hand, sleight of hand, the net to kind of look like it's laying over Iskrin, make it look like he's still in the net?
Yeah. Roll me a sleight of hand.
Oh.
On an 18, as soon as you see him on top of it, you kind of roll him over and lay the net on top of him. Iskrin, since it's laying on top of you and not completely surrounding you, it does not have the same magical effect. It seems to be only things that are encompassed by it.
I'm going to very cautiously use
One second, I want to see what Luna is up to. As you're saw.
I was just gonna. Well, I was just gonna say when. No, that's because healing word's verbal and somatic, I think.
Let me look it up. D&D Beyond.
Check out the website today.
Healing word is just verbal. It's not semantic. It is just verbal.
Just verbal. Wait, it's just verbal? Fuck, I could have done it. God damn it.
Healing word is just verbal. Yeah.
I'll pay. Fine. Well, I'm gonna go. Wait, well, let me make sure that was the one I prepared. Let me double check. Nope, I had Cure Wounds. I could not have done that. Never mind. But Iska is now free, so I'd say Iska could throw either me or Celia a quick healing word, knowing that we are the two still injured, so we have some amount of defense.
Yeah, let me check to see. I claim that she's got it prepared.
She should. I don't know why she would.
Yeah, I don't know why she would. I mean, she has all of her spells marked prepared. So.
Bards don't prepare. Every day they have a list. They have a certain number of spells that they have.
Oh, that's right.
Sorcerers. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, they're like sorcerers.
Gotcha. So I guess that's party-wise. Are you guys getting ready to battle, or are you going to try to get them to go back to their card game? I'm just trying to understand what you're doing.
Oh, that's fair.
He has not come over yet. He has stood up and is kind of looking.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry. That's why Celia put the net over Iskrin, because she wants him to just go back to his spot.
Yeah, and that's why Iskrin's
So we can try and think of a plan.
Yeah.
Now, Iskrin is bound in there. We can find a good plan to get out of here.
And I want to try keep Lyle just a little bit away from their line of sight, just so that,
the way that you're lying, sort of on your side. I mean, you pretty much can have him. You can always have him under you or whatever, especially since it's just a dagger right now. That's pretty easy.
It's a nice little crescent dagger.
Yeah. So Luna, what are you doing? You had sort of in the front. You were sort of acting as a screen as this guy stands up and sort of looks at you and kind of trying to sort of look around you. Anything that you do?
She'll just kind of I think, what would she do? Just kind of try and indicate bindings, where am I going? I can't move. What do you want?
You can roll.
Kind of what are you looking at?
Yeah. How do you want to roll this? I will let you decide. You can do persuasion, intimidation, performance, deception. However you can flavor it. You can flavor it however you want. of the, what do you want to do? What are you looking at? Or is it more of the, I'm helpless here?
It's more of the what. I was just being honest, it's more of the what are you looking at? She's still kind of miffed. She doesn't have the I'm helpless. It's like she would not call herself helpless.
Yeah.
She can't do it.
So
what
roll roll accordingly.
Okay. Okay, I'll check it. That's not bad for her.
Let's see. This is this guy. And on a 13.
Yes! Fuck it!
He kind of gives you a snarl of the you'll get yours kind of look, and sees that the two people he's playing with are getting their hands a little close to the very large pot that is built up, and sits his ass back down to not be distracted. Hey, Scraticus. So yeah, they are back at their cards for the moment, but like I say, they're about 60, 80 feet away. Best you can tell in this light. What are you guys doing? Iska actually can't cast Healing Word without her actual proficient instrument.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair.
I just thought of that this second. Yeah, it's her bard spells has to be a proficient instrument. Her choruses are an instrument, but it requires a performance check. Her chords of the fates are inherent. She can use her voice. That was what we came up with for her class.
So Iskra has a weapon.
Iskra has a weapon. We'll say a minute has passed at this point. You're back to your normal size, Cilia.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you wanted to do else? They disappeared. They disappeared after 12 seconds, so you had a little bit of time in miniature. Was there anything you wanted to do while you were miniaturized for the minute as we sort of jumped past you?
Shackles. Slide out the shackles.
Oh, she got out of them. They fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would she slide them back on? No.
Yeah.
No. Whatever.
No. She would have waited until they got back.
Yeah. So
she would have hid her tiny self to make sure guards didn't see, obviously. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. So yeah, you guys. Yeah, Iska is still bound. She has her mouth harp. Luna is still bound. Cilia is free, and Iskrin is free with Lyle. What are you guys up to?
To subtly use Lyle's very, very sharp edges to slowly saw at the bindings.
Yep. Give me a dexterity check just to see how you can do it, since it is bound, but you can hold it Lyle between your knees, any of those types of things to give you some leverage, or hand it to Cilia. Actually, can you hand a packed weapon? I think it's after 5 minutes it disappears. I think you can hand it off for a short time, not for very long.
As long as it's within 5 feet of me.
Yeah, so you could do any of the above.
I go to try myself, and I'm just like, there's a Cilia roll.
Yeah. Yeah, Cilia, you find a very sharp crescent dagger in your hands.
Yes, I do.
This is quite a pickle, isn't it? You hear in your mind.
Cilia grins and says, "Hey, Iskrin." And she's saying this as she's cutting the rope. She says, "How would you feel about going to the void with me?"
sounds like a wonderful idea. I've been there before. The void sucks. There's a lot of empty darkness. Like that Bigfoot's going to take over the rest of the universe and make it just like their paradise.
She's going to start talking to Lyle, and she says, "Am I able to use my void abilities with you?"
I believe so, but that's a hell of a jump you're going to try to make there. Especially if you're trying to carry the old man with you. She just says that. She says that to Celia, not for Iskrin to hear. No, he says it for Iskrin to hear. Absolutely. And Luna, cuz.
Yes!
Oi, old elf.
Little to Luna, are you not taking care of my boy? I understand he's a frickin' handful. 10,000 years.
Babysitting dues.
Yes.
Celia will look at Iska and say, "Are you able to give me some inspiration here?"
Yeah, she plays you a little ditty to give you a bardic inspiration.
Okay. Celia takes Iskrin's hand. Says, "Are you ready?"
I am. Just know as well, I can make three of us. I can make 3 of us invisible once I get these hands free.
Well, damn, that's true. He can.
Well, once we're in the void, we don't have to be.
True, but do we want to try access the void here, or do we want to book it and then void?
Well, if I can get Miss Ronnie to help us.
I'm going to note this just because Derek just said, my one thing is that we're not leaving all of our items behind. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, so
no,
just.
we won't. I'm trying to get to the void so I can get Miss Ronnie and hopefully see if he can help us a little bit. See if he can help us out somehow. But yeah, we won't leave any of our stuff here. Absolutely not.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine you leaving behind your rapier, but I didn't. Just checking.
No, I'm toast gonna leave behind my holy symbol.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Celia will try. She will take Iskrin's hand and say, "Hey, Lyle, are you able to be a rapier?"
You'll need to hand me back to Iskrin for a moment.
In the back.
So, I need you guys to make stealth checks as you're doing this, because y'all are making movements and doing things.
I'm going to use a luck die after this, depending on the roll.
Yeah, you can always call it afterwards.
Yeah, I'm going to use that. Okay, with the luck die, if I decide to use luck die, do I have to use that next roll?
I'm sorry? No, it's whatever's the higher of the two.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to spend a luck die.
Okay.
Just because paranoid. I'm going to use that one.
Okay. So,
Iskrin's learning from Celia, man.
on a 15, that card game is still pretty darn engaging. Oh, I can't believe it. This is the good guy too. This is the guy you all disturbed before. So I was like, letting him. I was gonna do him again because he actually has a little bit of wisdom.
What are you looking at?
So you need to.
I look at Lyle and I'm just like, could you please become the most perfect rapier for Celia?
Zlink.
There you go.
Lyle is his packed weapon that is sentient. So he's basically just changing out his packed weapon for a different form, Planet Sands.
All right.
Yep. So I gotta tell you, with the two of you, this is at disadvantage. It's a dexterity check at disadvantage.
Yep.
To try to open up the rift and leap through it with Iskrin in tow.
What if we cut it? What if we sit on the ground? Okay, so what if we're sitting on the ground and she tries to cut through the ground and we just fall?
Not really the way that this works.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the other time it was channeling through her ring. This is her trying to force it.
Okay. If this I'm just gonna look silly. If this fails, and if we draw attention, we're all going to need to go visible and book it because this fails. It's on.
So, I'm truly reacting to this along the way, but I'm just going. This is Iska chiming in. You say you can make 3 disappear, right?
3.
Well, she looks at the rope at the ground. One of us can hide.
That is true.
Then for all intents and purposes, my spot lasts for 8 hours.
Oh.
You guys just have to come back and get me.
Maybe once we're clear, I can come back and cast it again. I don't know. That might work.
You're still taking damage when we go through this way? Again, Moon is at 1.
No. Rope trick is benign. She was saying Iska can cast rope trick.
Okay, wait. So the disappear? Are we not talking about the void, or is this something else?
No, he's going to cast invisibility. He's got his hands free, and he's a warlock. He got his spell slots back.
Okay.
That's why I arrested. I got his 2 fourths. I'm looking around also currently to see if there's any magical, there's any barriers for magic within here.
Not that your sight is able to detect. No. The only magic you don't even see magic coming off the manacles. You see a little bit. You see residual magic from the mending that was cast on the rope and the manacles. But
okay. Cool.
So you're gonna try to dive through, or are you all gonna peace out in visibility? Either way, I'm fine. I'm just asking.
Who's gonna carry Luna?
Yeah, Luna's still bound.
Just saying.
Yeah, you can.
And once we're all invisible, we still can't actually see each other, correct?
That's why we all hold hands.
Correct, but Luna's bound. But yeah, you can cut. Right. You've got a knife. Yeah. You got a knife, and she's just got ropes. Woo, crew. I'll be the.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'll be the meta pigeon.
You have to do it real quick. We're okay. So make sure. So
but, you will have to do another sleight of hand check to not catch attention.
Which is hard because Luna's the one in the front.
Yeah, right now Luna is the one in the front.
Yeah.
I feel like Silly would be best suited to getting that done.
So how about? Which again, it's gonna basically have to be simultaneous action. Okay, so Iska's gonna do a rope trick. When you're ready, you kind of roll over, touch Luna's shoulder so you know where she is, and then you can cut the bindings. At least her feet, because if we're just booking it, really only her feet need to be free. Honestly. Yeah. So cut the feet, and then we can go.
Yeah. Okay.
Iska looks to you guys and goes, I think this is how this works. And she goes, I just need to cut off a very short piece of rope. Like that long. Of the ropes that are on the ground.
Yeah, Celia.
Yeah, she needs her hands free too. I'm sorry. So yeah.
That's also that.
So
you gotta do a lot of quick cutting.
Yep. So 2 sleight of hand checks. One for
yeah, well, that's the thing. If you can do these slowly and carefully, or you can try to do this simultaneous thing, which is going to, of course, it's lots of sudden movement, which is what catches people's corner of their eyes. So you can.
So what I'd say is maybe free Iska's hand subtly. So do that one slowly.
Okay.
So go ahead and do me a sleight of hand check on Celia's bonds. Iska's bonds. Sorry. All the eyes. 21. Yeah, you are, without gathering any attention, people, you all sort of are just in a close quarters mound, and you're able to and get her hands free, and she's able to find.
So fast, Iska doesn't even see.
Yeah, when you cut it, you can, because it's multiple rings, you end up with about 4 or 5 of these short pieces of rope, and that's what she wants. So she just grabs a hold of one of those and is ready to go with her mouth harp.
Okay. And she whispers over to Luna, "Are you ready?"
Whenever.
And looks at Iska.
Oh wait, hold on. Do we want Luna to be able to do pass without a trace to aid our invisibility, or no?
Yeah.
That would help.
So it has to be feet and hands pretty quickly when we do this.
Well, or again, do you want to try to do the...
Or sleight of hand. Yeah, sorry. I keep going to that. I want to go fast. I'm Sonic.
Yeah. How do you always want to do it? Do you want to try to do it the quick, or... Because, you guys know they've got magic users, potentially can see through invisibility, so stealth might still become an issue. Also, just because you're invisible doesn't mean when suddenly this place goes on high alert because you're missing that you're not going to be looked for.
Oh, sure.
Exactly.
Well, I guess we can always try subtle first, and if that fails, all right, do it fast.
That's
They're
true.
already onto us.
Yeah,
Yep.
They are 60 to 80 feet away, and play in the middle of a card game. So.
All right. Then she will. She's gonna cut the rope at Luna's.
I'm just double checking. Are you still going to try to do the rift thing, or wait until after you guys get a little bit more clear?
She will. She'll wait until we're a little bit clear.
Okay.
Because we are still going to have to go back and get Iska.
Yep. Well,
so
and all your
we may
items.
end up still needing his help.
Yep. Okay. So, with that, I need to bring up Iska's, because she's going to make her performance check still. So, okay. So, just so I'm clear as your DM, you are doing the slow and careful sleight of hand to cut Luna free. So go ahead and do me a sleight of hand check to get Luna free. She is in the front, so that's a little bit trickier. You sticking with that roll?
Did you use your inspiration yet from Iska already?
I have not.
You have not. That's true. You can use your bardic inspiration. It's a D8.
D8. Okay.
On a 20. There's only one number that will do it. And because he doesn't have advantage, on an 18 and a 20 with the rolls, you are able to cut Luna's bonds. This must be a heck of a game going on up there. Actually, I'm going to make this interesting because I kind of thought about this.
They're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, man. It's serious business.
Yeah, it's serious business. Serious business. Okay, so the card game is don't spot the prisoners escaping. That's exactly what it is. Boy, they are going to have hell to pay. So 3 of them, and so next up, visibility and rope trick basically simultaneously. Is that what's happening? Is that what I'm hearing?
Hands and legs are free first. Yeah.
So invisibility, rope trip, pass out, trace.
Okay, so
I only use like one key point.
So I was going to say the only thing that needs a roll for this is going to be
Go guys.
her performance check, just to make sure she doesn't nat 1 this.
Hold on. Well, what?
Yeah. So, luckily, on a nat 2, Iska nervously brings the mouth harp up to her mouth. It plays out this weird little sort of Indian-sounding snake-like tune, and you see one of the little pieces of rope, which I read this, I rules as written the hell out of this, can be up to 60 feet long, does not have to be 60 feet long. Basically, one end rises into the air and makes a portal. She just grabs onto it and goes, bloop, disappears, and pulls the rope up behind her and is gone. I need all y'all to roll stealth checks as you guys pop into invisibility. With pass without a trace. So that's a 25 by Cilia.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, you don't have advantage because you don't have your stuff.
No, but you have advantage because you're invisible.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
So a 21, so it's a 31, a 29, and a 30. So yeah, blink. So you guys, with that moment, and you don't stand there for a second. The guards don't seem to look your way.
Because I have to be touching them both.
Yep.
My hands are on their shoulders, and
yep.
I'm saying, this movement, we just walk. We just move as quick as possible.
Okay.
That's all we do. And I'll hold my focus.
So you guys step forward. What do you guys do? Yep.
I'd say we'd probably just try and, still kind of stealthy, but like kind of walk. We're not going to run, because that would draw attention, invisible or not. Yeah, just kind of like ease forward out of the building.
Okay, so you guys step out of your little cell space, and sort of as you step forward, you can see the guards there playing cards. You see all the way like behind these guards another one of these stalls, which would be facing you, of the same sort of design. To your left, there is a solid wall that's about 80 feet away, made out of stone, where you see that basically this was a set of a total of 6 stalls, 3 on a side with sort of a central area between them. The guards are sort of in that central area. To your right, as you step out, you see a vast open space, huge. Probably, as I say, reminds you of the Grand Eastern Station. Though not made out of Sylvan stone, it is of stone construction, but seems much more basic. It is almost, think of a large warehouse. It could house a huge open space. Iskrin, you read the histories. Do me a history check with advantage. Luckily, with advantage on the 16, you recall a mention in the up to modern times section of this, talking about the airship hangars, where near Windstone Village was where the airships, back before the arrival of the Netherwings, were built in this area. What you are seeing in front of you, think of something that could house a Zeppelin. It is a huge open area that the roof has been collapsed. You can see an entire corner of the building has been ripped off. Iskrin, with your eye for all things Netherwings, you can see telltale giant talon marks through the big stone floor. But for the most part, you are entering out into a large open space. Or to your right, you see this large open space. There is daylight coming through the roof that has been collapsed in on the far side of this. So only probably about half, not even quite to the halfway point, probably about a third of the roof remains above you. Basically, where you guys would be sheltered from the rain. The rest of it is open to the elements. To your left, if you all step out into this place. Hey, yeah, swear jar, thanks. you step out into this sort of large open space to your left. It goes down almost 1,000 feet. I mean, this is a huge, huge space. To your right, it only goes down about another 50 feet, but it is a solid stone wall there. It goes up about 2 stories until it goes down into the very far corner, about 300 feet away from you diagonally, where that's been ripped open down to the ground, and you can see light coming in and can see the actual plateau surface to that direction. So to the left, once you've stepped out from where these stalls were, about 1,000 feet before you see open daylight and like where the Zeppelins would be pulled in and out. So a giant open hangar door. To the right, you see about 100 feet away, a solid wall about 2 stories high that has been caved in, rubble, those types of things, that then diagonally from you about 300 to 400 feet away, diagonally across this wide open space where the wall finally and the building has just been completely demolished, where something very large and draconic probably slammed into this space to destroy airships.
Could I have also, like, grabbed the net on the way out and just, like, put that around my belt? Well, not, put it, like, through my belt.
You grab it. It actually does not turn invisible, though. So, as it is bound, with it being bound to inelegant, it is also, it is... You quickly realize that it does, that unless you want to try to have a floating net.
All right. So as we're walking out,
which way are you guys going?
Well, before we make a decision, I'm just going to say to him, one of you two can lead the way. I'm going to scan the entire place as we travel. I'm going to try and look for our gear.
Okay.
Delia will want to try and find their gear.
Okay. So, do me an Arcana, do me a Perception check and an Arcana check, because there is, to see what you see. Yeah,
there's going to be luck dice.
What do you see with your Eladrin eyes?
With your Eladrin eyes, what do you see?
So I'm going to use a luck dice on that.
On the Arcana, okay.
On the Arcana, just because.
Yep. So, with an 18 and a 20, one of the things you first recognize is many of these, the mercenaries are carrying magical items on them. The ones behind playing the cards are carrying on them potions and potion holders that you can see. Some minor magical weapons. You see some equivalent of minor enchantment +1 type weapons on them. As you look to your right towards where the sort of caved in 2-story wall is, you really don't see any magical signatures. You do see as you are looking up to the left, where it's about 1,000 feet away, and there seems to be more. You can't tell from this distance whether it's stalls, but it seems to be there's more alcoves where there are what would be short hallways, very similar to the one that you all's where you were being kept stalls are. That there could be other things, potentially what would have been offices or break rooms or stuff like that. A lot of those are made out of stone, so your sight only penetrates 1 or 2 in. Looking straight down, you can see, and they were hard to spot before, you do see a couple sort of floating magical signatures that are moving around up towards the far end. Because basically they are so far away and the light is dim, but your magic is sort of shining through with your 18 and your 20. You can sort of tell it's a walking motion, that it's just a shadowy figure. You're spotting basically a bright spot on some shadowy figures down to your left inside of this great hall. Just as a note for all of you, light outside, it does look like it's probably after the time you all spent resting and planning and all that type of stuff. Looks like it's getting into mid-afternoon type time frame.
Right. But nothing that is like the signature of our magic weapons.
Again, because of you realize that you things get fainter and fainter because seeing through multiple layers of rock and material, you would have to get closer. But you definitely see there are people carrying magical items further down.
On the left.
To the left, that what would be the 1,000 feet, down the long sort of side of the hangar.
All right, so seems like we should go that way then. That's more likely to have our stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
To the left. To the left. To the left.
Okay. I need you guys to all make.
Own is in a box to the left.
Yep. I need you guys to all make stealth checks again.
Sure.
Advantage plus 10. We have. I also say to him, we have 2 hours.
Okay, so we've got a 36, a 27, and a 22. I need to do a different little check here. See how the old card game is going.
That card game, man.
Like I go to 10s.
You guys move about, we'll say, 30 yards, 90 feet, about 100 feet down the way, scanning, where you hear from behind you a loud, "What the hell?" And you hear noises coming from behind you as what sounds like a barrel falling over. It sounds like there's money hitting a stone floor. And doesn't take much to look behind you. You see 3 guards pretty much in a panic come charging out from the area where you guys were. What do you guys want to do?
Play Metal Gear Solid.
All right. Well, here's the question: do we want to move faster and try to to find our stuff? Do we? Because you said Iska has 8 hours on the rope trip.
Iska has 8 hours on
8
the rope
hours.
trip.
Okay.
Yeah, we're limited to only 2 hours of.
So they're not directly behind us. They're freaking out trying to find out where we went. I say we probably move a bit faster, but keep looking for our stuff. That's what I say.
Okay, so they are scanning the area. They are, at this point, after they've looked around this area, you guys move probably another only 30 feet or so, and they are unable to see anything. They are start to sprint up the direction that you are, sort of raising alarm. They've escaped! They've escaped! And they are running pretty much right towards your position. What do you guys want to do?
I say hug the wall.
Yeah, move out of the way.
Okay. I need you all to hug the wall and roll me stealth checks again.
Advantage plus 10.
I was going to say, look at this with the 9.
19.
With a 19, 31, and a 21. And note to self, for God's sakes, give someone in your guards some insight. On a 9, an 8, and a 6. They charge right past you and go running down. You do see some more people start to pour out of some of these other sort of hubbies out in front of you. Iskrin, as you've now moved again almost 150 feet forward from your original position, roll me another perception and arcana.
Do we also see, just as a note, oof, damn it, I wish that was our advantage.
That would have been great.
Don't worry, I'm going to spend the luck dice on both of them.
Okay.
And I'm out. Oh, you bum.
You as you move,
Original.
as you no, it's still the highest ones. It's still the 10 and the 11. But as you move forward, just with the amount of stone and other items, other materials in between you, because you're basically looking through just lots of parallel walls as you're trying to look forward. You have not seen them in any of the chambers that you've gone by. Many of these are much the same. A short sort of central area with 6 or 8 smaller rooms on either side of them. It's almost like a comb down this side of here. It's pretty easy to determine. Most everything seems to be looted pretty well, but yeah, it's a tough one. You guys keep moving forward.
Yeah, we'll keep moving forward. I'm going to keep an eye out in case I see anyone I saw from the fight as well.
Okay, do me a just general, we'll go with perception again on looking out for anyone in the fight.
Where's the couple, Jay?
Now you can roll a 16.
Yeah. As you look ahead again, you see lots of shadowy figures up ahead. You do not spot anyone in specific, most everyone seems to be gathered still about 200 to 300 feet ahead of you. That's where you sort of see most of the people come charging out of, and seem to be making a sort of a fuss up there up ahead.
Alright, if we're going to keep approaching, I am going to be very cautious, looking out for anyone that shows any magical sign of being able to detect us in any sort of way. So as soon as I encounter a detect magic or anything like that, or any form of seeing, I'm going to be like, yo, we're stopping, we're backing up, we're taking another path.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you know that there is something that could spot us.
Okay. Roll me that Arcana plus Perception again.
Yay.
Double 18s. Let me just roll a thing.
Do you not have Learn by Play today?
Oh my God, I do have Learn by Play. I was thinking that we were going till 6. We need to end, like right now. See you guys. We need to go. We're going to go off right here on that end to check. I am literally just need to shut down. Bye-bye, guys. Stream's over. Love you. Come back.
Bye,
Gather your friends. Tell a story.